smit nuk mojna hejt Shqipe gjakun në shtrejt Halop të dridhët toka Se t'mit që nuk ta folin Prejhet jeta si torta Ju këto shqipe s'ka lojna Se na në pak se lojna Jeta o shumë shkurt Hit lek me t'mit t'indojna Jeta o zje ma zi S'kom shok kejti kom vazni Respekt zdo ven ku hi Se kejte din që s'ka ma gji Kusha e flegi bir Halo ta mojna tregin Kush ka menu që zvim Na vim bi prap ta dekim Dash bin dash rrug ju presim Qojt fola nëse vesin Halo nuk jena shpraz Kta leta mu shqinthesin Po drive toka Kur vim në dosa Fet në qëmbosa Si naske po Po drive toka Kur vim në dosa Fet në qëmbosa Si na nuk o
game because this is going to be a cracker and of course this is the winner game as well, so straight through to playoffs for one of these teams today.
Përshëndetje, sot bëna jetë ndërruar meq. Derbi. Hello buja, King buja, Kobra, bez video, Viktor Onik, Bloki, Moki, Era, Flatra, Jetoni, Dedri, Kozaki, Drinosi, Flori. Qysh për sheni jena në grupin B, bëna e dhe se këna fitu dojën e par Tash na vindoja dytë me fitu Edhe mu me dal pi grupit Edhe këto jena me Riyadh, Mississippi
My actual main concern is match time. I don't feel like I've seen them play a great deal since maybe even the major, honestly. They had a few tournaments after, but certainly not the same playtime this team has experienced in the past. It's probably because they went up a little bit in the rankings and got more invites and didn't have to
They brought
play
you like
through,
one.
you know,
Bojën e
the
like,
parts
eh?
of other teams. So, yeah, I'm excited about
Like
both
and
teams.
subscribe both sides.
Focusing on this
Gjithashtu
matchup in particular,
mos
I
harani
think compelling storylines from both sides. Falcons
sa s'ja ka nis
new
loja.
squad and
E kom
I
qit
think
një video
they're
3
still in the
para
process
një
of integrating some of these new guys.
20-30 minuta.
Yeah, they are.
Me shku me ball like I shkon
You
mirë.
have seen the level up, right? Misuta's been able to bring a lot to the table for them, and I mean, we're talking about an
Bro,
NBA
ja,
player,
gaan
the
niet,
level
mannen.
of experience, the situations that he's been in before. I think it's going to really help level up the young players on this team. So let's focus in on that matchup. I mean, one of these teams will be marking their spot in the playoffs.
Duket që thanë ndjeni shqiptar lum për këta, Team Falcons.
For the Bad News Eagles, their form's been terrific since the beginning of the year, since that incredible major run.
Tash, a është e vërtet, a nuk është nuk e di, këta ishin këtë franceza. Ama
With the Bad News Eagles brand and build their own organization team structure instead of opting to go for a more traditional org. They didn't find an offer that suited them.
tash shoh.
I think they're making the bold choice, but it's an exciting one.
Same story really as Encore, I guess, in the Australian scene. But Bad News Eagles, they're probably the highest
Ardet
best
Playboy.
performing team I haven't seen get an org for a long time. I guess Double Pony.
Misota I
is
halkëna
the
është shqiptar.
other kind
Misota
of,
është
the one
shqiptare.
that stands out in
Okej.
that sort of vein. So, yeah, it's sad
Sa
for
ty
the
është ke se
Falcons,
këqyra
stable home. I'm not sure
lejtar
if
këtë
the
flamurat
finance
franceze
is
kishin.
this team right now, but you have to imagine it's not the same consistency
Here's-
as an established org with you know established sponsors. So
Yeah.
I just hope for them that
Te kjo ekipa
and you can resonate with this
kundërshtare,
as well,
është një
that
shqiptar.
it doesn't become a huge hindrance and they can just continue playing their good Counter Strike because if they're competing at a top 30 level, they kind of deserve that sort of
Që
that
shto po
opportunity
thojnë.
to
Edhe
have
te me
stable
ç'to po
games
thojnë.
and opportunities.
I mean, maybe if they're having issues, they could just go be EG EU,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, they
we,
could-
we've
they
always
could do
got
it.
room. It's the NA way right now, as Evil Genius is subsidizing all of us. So I'm sure they can make that happen. I will say, my guess is that they just stuck all their sticker money in like a secure location and taking a salary from that every month, right? Try and get more sticker money, see what they can do. That's certainly a prime opportunity for them. But this particular matchup, let's dive into the vetoes here, Alan, because
Edhe këgja mirë pelu ishin mopa tëna. Në asjent e kishëm një përparsi në asjent, më i shumë i mujtë, se këta s'kishin as një doj. Në asjent. Misuta shqiptare. Okej. Qa me thonë në? Ju urojnë asët ditën më të keqe. S'kena shka me bom, bëna i do të me fitu.
Dive into it. See who we're gonna get between these two teams. Anything you're expecting here, Alan?
I think Permans are obvious, overpass out for BNE. Never really liked that one. And then Falcons, Ancient, never with any iteration. Actually, that's a lie. They did play it a little bit of LDOC, but I actually remember casting a game where they lost, I think 13, they won
Laga.
first half 13-2 on CT and still lost the match. So no surprises coming perma. And actually, I think for Falcons, I think they're in a place where I don't even think they know their map pool right now. I'd be surprised if they do. You're going so heavily off scrims. And
Talvez do të kallzon cilat mapa. Pizgjedhën. Po mendoj që na kena me zgjedh ascientin.
The bands did go as I just said. The picks though, Vertigo for Falcons.
Ata kanë me zgjedh Infernal se ishin më të fortë aty.
I'm not super surprised by the Mirage pick, but I think the Vertigo one, and we actually spoke about this last week, is
Infernal dhe dos 2 pelushin mirë.
But not played that much of late by Falcons.
It's an interesting one. There's been some vulnerability, right? Like their record on it, you've got some losses to teams that definitely aren't encouraging. It's been a little back and forth. I don't know quite what to make of that pick coming through from the Falcons. I think that does represent a potential big vulnerability here. Meanwhile, for the Bad News Eagles, I mean, just
shpërndon e live-in bossa, shpërndon.
maybe the
Shpërndon e
map
live.
volume's been a bit reduced,
Ale
but
se kam
still up
janis
against top
Bad
teams.
News
So
Eagles
I think
kundër
for the Falcons,
Falcons.
Vertigo's that must win because Mirage.
Veni por 20.000 euro.
I'm getting nervous about Mirage. My question is,
50.000
if you're looking at
total.
the pool, if you're just looking at the
Ke turi.
percentages, right? Surprised we don't see a lean towards that Dust 2 earlier. Surprised we don't see a lean towards that Inferno earlier. Dust 2 will be the decider if we get it out, but I guess Falcons gonna have to show us their stuff here on Vertigo.
Certainly, and actually, I guarantee one aspect.
Në mohon të këtë turnament e kena luni lojna.
That's always a
Nuk e
little
dija
bit
kena
of a
ball
factor in
live.
these vetoes where if you think you have a sleeper map, then they're not going to
Yeah,
expect
tell
to
us
get into
more.
it.
Look.
They've spent their day, prepping for a Dust 2, for example, or maybe even a nuke or something in these directions, and you've got a completely left field. So that could be a factor, but I'm very intrigued because I think there is a point to prove on Vertigo for Falcons.
I mean, we did watch that Vertigo last week up against Ecstatic, but it was not a sure thing. It was the decider in that series, as I recall. The decider of the first map, which one was it? But either way, it was a 16-13,
Po
right?
fajt kanë vëlla si gjoja.
It was a bit of a tense match.
Nëse këta veç që ja kanë nis më herët, në ora 7 si gol loja ja nis.
So Falcons saw what they saw there and said, you know what, we do like this. The problem is when you picked into it, you got to start T-side. There's a little bit more of a challenge here. So it's going to be an interesting one to see. I'm not quite sure which way that map's going to lean there, Alan, but I think it is going to set the tempo for the series. I think if the Falcons can come out and be competitive, we got a 3-mapper on our hands. Otherwise, I think the Bad News Eagles might be the bigger bird, clutch them in their talons, and fly away. Eagles, larger than Falcons.
Simple logic. Simple logic, but yeah, I'm excited, but I think before then, we're going to take a little break and then come back for the game.
En arvsa se pa hajna copyright. Desa startan loja vet se pas kanë hi lojtarët e reklamat shati qesin këta edhe po shkojna me lojen. Me juve shajometet është me ball like edhe subscribe. Gjithashtu me shprenda live-in. Kallëzënjo që këto të këshyrë bëna eja. O, sa dek baba, po qysht këm. A thu sot, ja, sot s'ka shansë 16-0. Se ishin të fort. Venin e 32 e kanë këta, na 35-it në ranglistë. Po vi me dosta, kur vi me dosa. Dethra. Tutorial. Si ta përdojnë mouse-in. Backson. Muzik paska. Acho que s'ka muzik, pa ja paska. Bile që muzika ti kishin shti pa copyright apo. Se po mesëm si hota tani të prit. Valla, që kjo Ma arrej të silë sa ne sakne. Këmë ma ose gjysër i baj ka me kry. Surf. Chill. Surf and chill. Kësha i bjanë rjatë, surf and chill. Qëtoj të shkroj arana së të po. Ja, ti ka keme delay. Në letë zëvë së ditë. Na, peti një detën unit me kry. O, e ndret baba. Që s'ka shansë, Allah, që shto me hypë, me zhëri pe. Ja, është ka mundësi. Se të me t'jom bëhë sa, syna s'ke po. Sa që pja nisi loj, po më hinë mënë që aja muzik të një mundë nësë. Yes. Good. I like that. Surf and chill. Surf sanguine. Vabbè, tu lo sa mo pa.
3 minuta bi prej.
Po bilelet në kallëzën cilat mo pa janë t'i zgjedh. Hajde Kosova Kingi. Hale se sot derbi baba, derby. Me boj mu që ta Falconsat. Baba t'jena. Edhe pse jena.
A se në vend kënë këta?
32 në 35.
O, isha më ka kohë zërmër se ne parlojnë zeri atleta. E të qatë që po. Fardi ka në zeri.
Qa që me diploma e gamit. Diploma e myti, po diploma në këfer. Mirë o Kosova kënë. Të shty.
A ke po, pra të përtet me kam po ata.
S'kam t'i këta ka jarën. No. Më thjerë it's my home tani.
Të që alfi giftera.
Gjuni o të shumër. Po mi vjedhen giftera. Përsa ta s'fa qeli TikTok.
A me nuk o normal e ishtë. Një rrë kristian. O kripën dhe dhe.
A jeni bogati me mytë vajerni. A kismet mas BNS. Inshallah fitan BNS 2-0 bile më me këshirë Bayern me Barcelona direkt. Me 2-1 pjesa parë më shkan.
A njësë. A një dhe njësë.
Allah, kë pet qaj kam pek.
Në kam sërë që të sem. A që të nëmë dhe në?
Flan me njerin ta. Me po me fitu Barcelona 3 golla dhe përsia e bija Colla ka me dalë në kapnë. No, inshallah arrena e kush e mon telefonin mirë, kamerën se. O, rëb do të me tja. keq. Që shka dy një. Ja, bre, pe këshirëm bëna e në hajtë. Ora, shta të bon, kyt me këta dëthronat hamamit, të në jene klamu. Ale më lojën qëte! Qëre më lojën? A, dole do këse e fundit. Ma pet. Nëse qëtë një emër surfen, edhe surf viz për, dije që u bo bërlugi. E qiri a kajti belon. Jo be që ma baj crash. Tu kush. O logi pas ka ime reklamu, ma bat kejt. Misuta, zi që e pa temni, misata. Qaj po thënë shqiptar është. Flamurin franqesht e të flancës e kish. Franqesht e kish. U shqy që ma për shkurt. Jo më farti, inin tunel, ja kajta veli. Djev nëse jeni të rinket kanal më sarani me bo subscribe gjithashtu dhe butonin like që ti bojna 100 lajka para se mjeni zbërej. Apet surf të rëne, ja kajti bina, apet ma pësangre. Allah kë kanala i ma pava është të shka. Po dridha toka, kur vi me dosta, se t'met jam bosa. Një piktate një ka. Po bre, ime YouTube ja, knau që t'u ekso valla. Po veç hajt mi o thonë baje nese. O, na kolla na i gemavi syt na i kajti vera. Në turbo bob. Në sport e ka qiti. Hajde inshallah zdel. Mo. Ella bam. Bam, offon. Po i merë për e. Ja, ka e, no. Keq qëta ma bat njët ka me burë. Sa nësë pasën e harë ndryshimi që javlin me cek. Op. Allah kjo me formula. Ne i ka bo këto ma ba, shka? Që të marë më lojën o të ma i gare. Pa është të më të nejnë rejqet ma mirë me i pas. Pa i mira mës me na i hek, pa shka me ba. Qa ti bëjsh? Po dridha toka, kur vi me dosta, se t'met jam bosta. Si na s'ke po. Hadi sholla ma s'ka map. Please ma. Ball ma vlla që të 7.5. Mos na jona një gjithë. A fitum, po vlla qka. Ado se ka njës. A ish përgatit një vash, a ish inshallah jetë të dy. Ja, kësa rralla. Nuk ka ase, nuk do ketë. A pet map. Mos ba me bora. A zla me bora i ka e se najtë. Po dridha toka, kur vi me dosta, se me t'jam boesa. O Barcelona. Ja barazem ja fitore, me hup. Shansat janë të vogla për me hup. Se jena në top form, Bayern s'është në top form. Po nuk i dihet apo, nuk i dihet Bayernit. Apet Bayern jo Bayern. Alla plus lunë shpet vet. Vesh 1600 bileta ja këshin dhënë Barcelonës. Tifaz. Edhe ato 1000 bileta ishin këtë polak. Qështu nita. Që i këshin orë me këshu Lewandowski. Dhe ekipe që janë bërë sot puna asoj me gazetarë. Edhe Bayerni do të njëlshu 3 golla se zbat nomi. Përfitojnë a ketë në këtë rast. Dela ja që i ka desh qysh. Dela ja bia.
Po kita përmendni audienca aty u rrit shumë aty. Në fakt. Të bëjnë njerëz. Oj, ti sholla. Po, zotë më sa futbolli.
Ti thanë tani djali babës që shbe babës si sporti po kësyra, ke i desh. U kretën mopat, ari shqeqer, nesja. Ja ka njës më qërë Allah, mopas ne ka kalzu. Dhe na këto me Riyadin, po kë fërë zvërtet shumë është edhe se të një dhe shumë lajë.
Falcons, I think it's about setting the tempo very early on this map. We know how brutal these T-sides could be, and okay, GSX could be so.
Qëta është arrit e pak më shumë zonë.
Goodbye, MBK. Nothing for you.
Mapa por,
Wow, that was a statement of intent.
qëfar mapa kjella?
Eager to take the jewels and collects ahead for his trouble. And look at all three of these players.
Mire na.
They
Na shtaj
are
vitojnë së penalti.
so determined. Look at the mini-map, Mike. They're leaving B open. This is a wild pistol. Double mid, B open.
Yeah. I guess they're expecting that mid presence or to get an audio cue from utility, but there's not a lot of utility at hand. So now they're bunched with 3 to rotate. They'll start to move Synopsy back in, but this has been a very mobile pistol round. And actually, so much space given over for Falcons, isn't it?
Shke mi
Okay,
sota.
alright.
Po thëmë që shqiptar tash, pa o asë nuk e di.
Indeed it will, and that kill. This retake actually has some legs. Okay, Misuta. Action here, a third found. Misuta just with a Glock has turned
Ka
this
khoj
on
më
its head.
rebelion. Ale, senar.
This is such a tough
Rigoni
retake.
këto, one tap.
Even if you get
Qaja!
Never mind is not the hard part of the round, but Misuta appears to be the raid boss. He's gone to the USP. There's not really a lot of
Ai.
Rygon in double swing will be effective.
For the
Misuta
lacha.
up now. Kills.
Wow,
Alan,
what an
leave it open.
Wow. But I have to say, I am not a fan of the macro there from Bad News Eagles. You get the kill on ramp and full information, and you commit to leave free
Allah
there
karabi.
and leave the open. I don't mind it as the start of the round call. You're making a guess.
4 kila I boni valla mi sota.
But they had a lot
Thana
of
ndja,
time
thana
to
një
at least
forta.
get into a setup where, you know, they're going to trade 1 for 1 on B or buy time, but you know, when you let it get to an afterplant, that's when you allow the dice to be rolled rather than really using your numbers to your advantage.
Valla e sa që kjo ekipe pas ka. Unë s'pe një, nëjse unë si një, këta CSGO t'go t'i heq.
Two from center. What's he gonna find here?
Për e të bëna e s'koptot.
This feels just deep in my pores, like a 5-7 clip moment. Can't tell you why exactly, Alan, but I just feel the energy coming my way.
Hale Senar, bravo Sener, Sener, baba!
Center!
O,
Shutting it down.
Senerin.
Denying any space towards the steps and
Qaja flatra, hale edhe një,
it's all on the
ku
back
shka i kena baj, forc kan lu, mos harrojna forc kan lu.
But I told you so. Maka coming on
Ma,
in,
ma, ma,
starting
bravo.
to fight, and he will be
Super.
traded out. A flash
Super baba.
flipping things on its head.
That
Dynja
was-
easy për
that
neve.
was amazing. I mean, I was sat back, Mike. I was thinking he's dead. This is a dead man.
Qa ju ka
Slammed
ba
his dive.
Senere.
He totally cursed him. And the first kill was a bit of a spray. The second and third, he absolutely annihilated them. Wow, that was... what I'll say is clip it up and ship it to Maui, because he'll enjoy that clip a lot.
بس قبل سنايبول شو كذا سنايبريسي ده مثلا ماكا إن شاء الله زدين مليون إن شاء الله سيادان سمديت مليون دين
I want to say I feel the Deagle round coming back to answer, but I don't feel the energy tingles here, Alan. Maybe I'm wrong.
Only so much of a quota of those sort of...
باني تاقليون
Yeah, right? You can't just keep spinning it. Ooh, okay, yeah, definitely.
Përshëndet që Kosova King.
Apparently the prediction fairies may have blessed me today. We'll see if I get another one.
Oh, GG. Se posha s'ka u bon, ç'shim me të mëre.
No kills, 5 alive for bad New Zealand. An AK brought through from the reset round. This is actually a big deal already, because this is bound to be a...
3 me easy. Nuk ba me dek qëtash asë një, super i shko.
The 5-7 clip was beautiful, but the overall impact maybe is even greater, because Bad News Eagle is going to have so much cash when we get back to the guns.
Hale kape që ke bu me? Bravo.
Nice little chip up nade damage early. Not that you have to be too worried about these Glocks regardless, but hey, a Glock with 20 health.
Bravo, Rigoni. Rigoni ace qëto.
Rygon, not one to fear any variety of Glocks. Doesn't have to worry about running out of bullets though. This is the one thing. I will say...
Mos jo bani po shobor ndeshin me me mëntu mirë. As vëmën se kanë.
Is that the rifle's a lot more vulnerable to these.
Që rrejnë që to, s'kan shka bojnë. I kena të zonë gosht qëto. Që kemi suta nacionaliteti francez, Albania e kish. Se dio, sone e përveç ka morin francez. Kish pas. Po shqiptar, po thoj kejt. Një masakër e letë. E që të ronë, tash do të me fitu gjithë qysh. Sa ata janë full buy. Po, se këtë po thojnë që kemi suta shqiptarish.
The beginning of this game has gone for BNE. This round feels like it has a lot of importance. I don't know that Falcons have to win it, but they do need to make it contentious one way or another. Because we've effectively got a bonus round with full rifles.
Pa, ma se dhja ka, po, bërë në nëllën të shqipnis.
MBK though will get an entry.
Tash.
And that's a nice thing to find. Ramp now under major threat with an advantage.
Heci mi sultan. 26 pa bor.
Is that a CT smoke by the crane?
Që të rënë do të me fitu gjithë qysha bor.
And I wonder if they've missed a smoke mic and not expected MBK to be through.
I've seen some... it's weird to throw early. It's way too early. I've seen some teams throw that if they want to play a close up by the crane to sort of give them an angle to swing around and maybe get a spot on the player ramp, but it was way too early.
One of the sandbags?
Right? No. Like actually one by the side of the crane just to give you a slightly wider angle. It's not often. It's not frequent, but I have seen players throw that before. It's almost like a reverse lurk smoke because you can sometimes see the heads popping around on the corner of it. It's not a very common one, and that definitely isn't what they were trying to do that early on, or if they were.
I'm not
sure whose team smoke it was, to be honest. A hunch is CT side, but that didn't make it any easier and gave MBK so much space just to crawl up completely unnoticed.
Ajo, kësën në pet.
Crawling up completely unnoticed.
Oh. Bra, Synopsi! E këthen 3-3. Hale Synops. Mas. Bravo, 2-2. 8 hapa. Hale Flatra. Bravo. Ek. Qaja. 4 me një. Shkojnë atash më 5 me një. Nëse lujnë force na i thanë. Full ka 2 me lu.
Rolled out the red carpet, but
Po speqet kush e ka zgjedh mapën e parë bore, kujna që ka
I'm not
map.
sure exactly how that collapsed so quickly. It just felt like that Ivy player got a bit too much space, and then as they're actually
Sot e qit kush e ka
scrambling onto the
zgjedh
bomb
qit
site,
mapa,
it's getting
kush e
taken
ka.
down from Tetris, so maybe should have used more utility to deal with Ivy. And look at this ramp rush, so fast on the flashes, already scaled up past the crane. GXX still stuck in sandbags. Not a
Çfarë po llav, GG kanë lu forcë.
It looks like Synopsis here.
Shkojnë në 6 minja. Uha. Ajo pas kanë pare. A lutën forca full echo.
I was sort of wondering about this vertigo pick for Falcons.
Bënajet, babo. Gjithë ata që janë të të, janë ata që zgjedhin mapën e parë. E këta e pas kanë zgjedh.
Early on, I'm not really very convinced. Even that round that was contentious.
Falcons atë pas kanë zgjedh mapën e parë. Mirë jena na 5-1, por normal jena polica, kështu që më konë që kryet pjesa parë.
As you say, Alan.
Po e mbarllak
But
14-1, na i thënë.
to this moment.
Just keeping an eye on the macro from Falcons because
Do të mi ba për mi 10 runda mi
it's
fitu
just a
bile,
small
pjesë
thing,
parë.
but
Se jena
it's a
polica.
huge deal that you can hear so much as the T side. In terms of how the season's opening round.
Shaj ka ba fladrë.
Should
Sa
have
i ki
heard
këtha
3A,
për mas.
but they've chosen to play so slow. Dink is nice, but look at Regon here, smoking down the bottom of yellow, all this space, got his all with him. Regon. Here to help, I mean,
Gone,
this
though, for the
is...
CTs. Look at what B&E have to play with here. A retake's gonna be a nightmare. They got single smoke, 2 flashes. No bodies, certainly. No HE.
How did he
That's
gun?
often how you see teams play. Like the A ramp retake is just going with the nades.
I'll
Sa
give
nere,
it that.
shumë lava
So
la
T
flatra.
side, no smokes.
Shoj sa pa.
Maybe they just agreed to play like a
Ashtë
utility-less game past the first minute.
I'd love to see that.
Gentleman's agreement. Flashes are for cowards. Apparently kills are
Arrogant.
not for Falcons.
Nal të gigant, nal.
Come on now, they need to get
Ah,
something.
ç'tram
There's a
dokat,
couple
shkom
coming
poshtë.
back their way. They
Treva
also
së
try
tre
to
jena,
clear
treva
out
së
the
dy
shot.
super rigoni.
Bring this advantage back through. 20
Shu shu se
seconds,
dyna
they've
më
got
nxerr.
no space. Where are they gonna go? It's just a gamble at this point. They have no information on the site. 15
Hale
seconds
senere.
if this first kill comes in from
Më konë që
seven,
e ikë senere,
it's over.
super i shumë.
Even without it,
Bravo,
round
Genci.
is over. Okay.
Sener,
No
qaja.
chance to plant. At least they died
Ishli
before
bedesh
time.
bab.
Okay. Falcons, you do have
That's
to get on
off
the
your
bomb side eventually.
S'ka shka me fort për bënejt. O, dja me keni bo like e subscribe, a jo.
Concerning. I don't know where all their nades went from Falcons because they seem to give ramp at the start, which is normally, you know, a byword for we're gonna save our nades, let the CT.
Më pa më armenja që bënejt e kanë zgjedh ascientin, në ma
For
pa
whatever
tretin
reasons, they
ferma.
were splurging all their utility
No,
for no control, and as much as Bad News Eagles didn't have utility, they had forward positions, they had information, they had space to play with, and
they
they
had him off
bled
the
the
tummy
clock
fan, I
so
thought.
much. It was kind of
Po.
the worst
Yeah,
of
jak
all
to
worlds
no,
for
Inferno.
Falcons. I think they need to rethink this T-side approach because right now they're not getting any advantages.
Eko kanë të duha ta. Një tek naj. Një dy tek najna. Një
Okay,
diko.
limited weaponry. Presumably this makes
Yeah.
them a little faster. Maybe, although they're spreading into a bit of a default. They're grouping up their B steps hit. Last time this happened, they got annihilated by a 5-7. This time, there's rifles on the other side. There's another player close up by panel. One flash out here. Could get caught by this. Molotov will set off the
Flatra.
players. There's the first kill. He's lost a teammate.
More.
No, just blind
Treba se
spamming.
katër.
And this is effective now for the Falcons. They've got a
Shkyn
foothold.
në bëkaja
They have a
lavash.
crossroads
Genci atë e ba pol.
It's gonna cost them one and
Ja
the
merë një
second
kjella
down.
asesinovsi.
The moment may have just
Pra,
been lost.
GG
Rotations
Regoni,
are good
i
here.
palan.
The Bad News Eagles, a bit
Super,
overwhelmed the
nuk
first
ka
moment, but
catch.
so quick to respond, and that's the beauty of Vertigo. You can correct your mistakes positionally in an instant.
They're also playing
Bëne e
a
ka
two-mid
vënë
setup
Mirage.
there, and
Dhe do
actually
të ishi është e fund.
think I can't remember which player it was, but one of them was holding a Molotov for B. and
اوكي
playing it.
بدي دوزيشن تفورت كتاب الله
Honestly, they should have got more of that B setup, but the rotator.
تاو تات برشيني كشنت في تومه
It's not the end of the world, and also
ناي كنا
economically.
جاشت اشتاط
Okay, it would have been nice to save more guns through, but they've just got so much cash.
زيب سي باس مي زغيلا سينت نو بلوك تاس كشن لو هيت
Falcons, at least they're upping the pace
كشن
here in
بوست لوي
mid.
اتي
And Fletcher is alone, so he's got to give this.
Što kaljunas tamo turnament je.
Finally, some early space taken and not a lot of utility done.
Så sigurt jag kan bara bank då. Kur zgjedhin mapat e ban.
No time whittling off the clock here.
Igen så regulat för det.
Python. Gonna be a little wary about this. Gonna come
Skojar
look and
la.
he will get his kill. Able to fall
Där
away,
kommer
so an
Hiss.
advantage here for Falcons. Only their second
det kan
of
palla işte.
the game.
Bravo. Evo tjetër emocijonal.
Last very long, but the
Emocijonal.
trade is there. Well played from NBK.
Treba sa 4.
They spread
Ty
the
thana shumë lart.
3 on 4 now.
Vi sota već ataka të killa në rënd para dhe ma e ka palu. Qëto me pas një farë bume pas pas me
These
një
players
smok.
will start to inch their way up the A ramp. Problem is, this is where the presence is focused for the Bad News Eagles. They've got the players here in time. The op is towards the side hall. And so the Falcons, whether they realize that or not, are gonna leave. Here's the right read. Okay, Alan, things are getting interesting.
Tar igen.
Okay, right, he doesn't die for free here.
Må han
Continues
që
to,
gen sitt stan.
Make some noise. Convince them
Bravo!
he needs
Gen
to
si
surround,
sot
but he's
super.
been collected. And center now sees the
Yes,
utility
jag hade
rotation
erfarit
going
det
on here.
så
Center catches
top
that
for.
flash though. Can't deny the bomb
Treba
plant.
sa tre.
Finally,
Ja,
a
det kan
bomb
vart en
plant.
snipe det jag kan ut fart.
But holding on to it's going to be a different story. A flank will be developing. One Flacho's coming forward. And center gets ahead of it.
Part
And that could have been the kill that actually sees this round come through for Falcons.
Ja,
Now
helt
they're
jävla
worried about the
flat.
flank. Now they only have to worry
Visst,
about one
den ser
towards either side here.
Një
And,
headshot
well, unless we get
shpejt.
a massive play from
E
one
ka
of
po,
these two,
jes e ka
this
po.
should be
Mire,
John
shef Flatra,
Ross
gjuj.
spotted. The
Qashtu,
second player
Flatra.
got the information, but not
Mos.
the execution. One Flatro had the pieces of the puzzle, but he couldn't put them together. And the round will go away.
Ja.
Good recovery. I think that round was more about punishing Bad News Eagles. for
Ti hek e
playing
Flatër
so
që ata dy,
aggressive
GG.
on A. And I was nervous there, Mike. They had one smoke left at 1 minute. I think it was about 1 minute 30. Falcons were down to one smoke. They are using so
Treba
many
killa game
nades,
si ky kap.
presumably on ramp early, to contest for control, and they're not
Ka
getting
që
it.
i fort, po.
Stuff like this, the early Ivy smoke and doing so many early nades.
Sta
they've gotta be
fal.
more willing to
Mi
take
dal
that
për
control.
pala.
And this time they are, so this is a good change up, Mike.
Te si mi su. Mare, rigoni me sener, GG. 4-3, hajde.
Alright.
Hajde Rigan, heket që të në bëkën e Hamamit. Bravo Rigan.
Dragon was behind him the
So
whole
sam,
time.
3-2.
1-for-1 though. They do manage to pinch back in, so Falcons still have a chance.
Are
They
synaps.
got the utility
E hek.
wants to come into the fight, and
Shumë lave kalon.
damage.
Ma
I don't know
bre.
if you wanted to stick around there after the initial engagement, Synopsy. A bit of overconfidence here, but the reinforcements are present for the Bad News Eagles.
Mozdel
They
Flatër.
will continue to try and press the action.
Po,
They're all about that
Borman
action, and
hapa.
so is Maka.
Tu
1v2,
në
health not great for the Falcon side, but they can just leave, and Maka is going to do exactly that. He's gone. Alan, he's gone. He's picked correctly.
Shaj me më
Bomb
tokë për
plant's gonna
baja.
go down. Things are gonna get weird with Python still left towards A. Wait, was that just a bait?
Looks like
They're
it.
coming
I
back
mean,
in.
Ah, det GG. GG.
now it's looking like a mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, that feels like
8 me 2 që fa shit.
too much thinking in a 1v2. You got the numbers, you got the advantage. And now Maka with 9 HP has to try and find a place to get this bomb down.
Ja,
and he no
inshallah
longer
se
has
ka
any
bre
information about
snipe.
where center
Ja,
could
bes
be,
ik po.
'cause he was in the back lines. He could still be there. He could just be right here. He could be anywhere realistically. And now center knows. Okay, alright, time to get moving. Molly will allow the bomb plant to come through. Those have been few and far between for the Falcons. But center's not picking up any audio cues here. Mark is reading this right. The shot has to hit. Here's the moment. He's got it.
Ai,
Had
ha.
the read, had the shot, had the execution.
GG.
But what he didn't have is any teammates survive with him.
They'll take rounds, honestly, at this point. CT money's on the brink. I think they should keep buying, though. The cash is low, and
Shtot
thinking
një
back to
okema.
the 2-on-1,
Pe shtat një isha las na e kthejnë
In-
apo
in
se
the
gjatë
sense
që është
that
apo na i
when
bojnë.
he makes the bridge noise and he's on that HP, I don't think he can go B. Because if there's anybody there, he's dead. And that's the bomb dropped and that's the round over. So he had to kind of go back.
Që të rënë dorë e
I
patëm
do
valla.
truly think they should have just gone both onto A, keep it simple. But MBK, he's only got 6 frags, Mike, but it feels like every single one is like this, ripping open a bomb site, and that's not a quality I would honestly associate with a player like MBK. So I'm impressed.
Shet se di je.
Taking matters into his own hands in a couple of rounds now. He has been the engine that has actually
Qëra Allah,
propelled them
2 jetë ai
into
kanë
any
6
sort
majt
of
15 ata.
competitiveness.
2 tjerë janë
This
gati
one's certainly
në
gonna work
gjyst.
out. Bad News Eagles will have to save. With
Bravo,
what they've
Gans.
got. A kill on the Haji means that Synopsy can take this gun through, provided he backs off. Synopsy.
Si ne opse me një malatav gjuje që aty valla.
Plan here.
Do të me hija por se s'ka kë, s'kan ket.
What's the plan here? Oh,
Scheiße.
plan is death, Alan. The plan is death.
GG safe, s'kish haban.
I think we can see that one coming. It's Falcons. Great entry by MBK. Just accelerates behind it. He's essentially on his own until maybe 5-6 seconds, and that support can come in. But this is better from Falcons. We're working more of the map. We're not so hyper-focused on just launching utility towards A and trying to kind of essentially aim duel it out. So I've enjoyed this a lot more, and they've broken the money. Falcons maybe starting to show us why Vertigo was the pick.
Ma.
GXX pushed off the angle early on. Alright, so what round? They just need 5 to convince you here, Alan? What do they need?
5 would already be, I think, a good recovery, given how badly it was going. Yeah, 5 is fine if you throw in the context that they got reset second and the economy got out of control. That's honestly a result on a map like Vertigo, but from the perspective of being their map pick, 7 would be comfortable.
Oh, he's needy. He's demanding here. Settle for 5. Ask for 7. That's right. Know your self-worth. Chat. Ask for more. If they don't say no, you're not asking for enough. Let's see if Falcons will give Alan everything he's wishing for. Y'all's gonna be here. Presence is here as well. You do need that D ground. Not gonna happen. Not the 5-7.
Senere.
Hand cannon hit center.
Hadi Sinaps.
Out of the map.
Ane Naki.
Uh-oh.
More Synops.
Uh-oh. It's all coming apart. It's all coming off the rails.
More
Python
Synops.
needs to bring this back through. But he's just got 1 player left to find. 4 kills already found.
Ma, bre.
Python sets things back on course.
A spat në jarëm që aty.
Alive for Python.
Veç hava ma o bor.
Bottom of the board for both teams until he steps up in that moment, Alan. But that really saves the bacon of Falcons.
Oh, that was wild. I mean, so many players on B. There's absolute carnage. Scenari, beautiful chain of deal headshots, and ultimately requires Python to.
Që të rënë do të me vitu për ndresh me së me ka shkejkit.
Okay. Alright.
Bile më konon gjarë për neve.
Numbers back, a little boost up here.
Bravo, rigoni me Senerin.
Might need a few more bodies to stack
Ma,
in,
bre.
and BK
Synopsis super.
don't
3-2.
strangely come to expect from him on this map. And Maka will be left as the lone man up on the steps. Python's trying to join him. Might be a little too late. Flashbang's a good cover from the
O të
smoke.
ka po,
Nice
bro,
centers
Sene.
out zone. You can't stick in that position once you've been spotted.
Bravo, Synops, baba
It
te.
helps when you have Synopsis
8 me
behind you.
5, super.
8th round found there for the Bad News Eagles.
Hala 2 runda lejt 5, ka ja bila.
Indeed.
Let kryet pjesa parë. Përshëndetje Blendi. Ua quna, bëni like or subscribe. Gjithashtu mos harroni me klikul linkin këto pin ose në description. Që kjo video e re që ka dalë, që s'priteni me bë like, i shkon mirë.
Look at the utility here. I mean, Smokes is good, but this lack of flashbangs could cause real problems pushing back GXX.
Bayern, ha. Po. Bayern ja mannen fast. Po pas super start för Bayern.
First
Dus
kill.
ja, kan wel
Takes
een
out
goal
the hero
ahead.
of 2 rounds ago. Python.
Allah يكرب اسمع رمينا سكام مكشور برشلونة يسمع رمينا بيو سكنا مكشور برشلونة يسنا دود بره
Okay, goodbye. So 2 of the really explosive players that we've seen so far are eliminated and with limited weaponry. Not
Çarşda
really
bebilen
potentially
bala.
expecting too much, but okay, all right.
Kadar vasat ras super yana
Aggro fight there for the Bad News Eagles.
Hala sener
Does feel like at
Hani,
times
hani,
these
provaz,
matches
Sener,
take
provaz.
rounds, they set themselves up to
Ma
die.
bre sener
And there's another one. No need to get that first
Zip se po bojnë reload me 15 pluma në këra bu
Availing, and instead the bomb will go down.
Se kam
Okay,
bos
so
një herë.
opportunity
Live.
over for the Falcons. A boost up as well. Oh, so effective from Moccasin. He's made this rifle sing for the team. The flashbangs are good. The kills are better. And suddenly this round should be over.
Bravo Synops bravo Synops
He's caught two. Somehow
Oh, that what happened
was required. Hadji recovered.
Me Barcelona ndihet
And now no money to fight
E për të sagom
This is
mos
carnage.
vetë
This
se
is such carnage in these last couple rounds. I think BNE
100%
though, they're
me
getting
bëna
a
e.
little sloppy on A after securing ramp. Regon's out in the open, gets taken down. It's a bit of a scramble from the remaining 2 as Falcons are covering territory and honestly with the early picks I think that should have been Bad News Eagles round every day of the week, but now it's them in the terrible economic position. Look at this, 2 MP9s a deep.
Allah I blen njerës jam të bo moderator sa s'po baj live shumë shpesh veç bën e kur
But
për
maybe this one's too much to ask.
Si t'ja nisi e bash shpesh me bo live Jo baj ty këtina Kosova Kinget
Their big error in this round is
Jo
that
që varani
Sarah's
aktiv
on
jo baj
9 as opposed to a pistol.
Se njerës jam të bo fort live edhe
That's yeah. I think that's the
Even
blunder
drop
here.
him extra pistols for when he runs out of ammo.
True. Or just swap with Rygon right now.
Ja,
Say,
ty
you know what,
karab.
bro? Give me the
Qërën aktiv të s'farre fort Ty veç pa e pa del
Don't love that exchange for the Bad News Eagles, but NBK will take it all day. Thank you very much. More entries for NBK. Everybody's here for the CT side, and they've got a flank. Center's actually on that flank, waiting to hold them in. So for the Falcons, well, Python might get this kill for free if Center gets a little too antsy.
Bravo sa pas
What will be doing?
Bravo se
no,
nërë me
can't
qërë të
zero that in.
permiti Hare flatra hek Bravo flatra
Appears to be doing their
Oh,
job
but,
just fine, and indeed it will just be
GG,
left to
s'ka shka basën e në me
Center
gjarë të
tackle back a 1v3 where he is nowhere close to being in position. He did his job. He got his. But unfortunately, a flank only works if there's
Shansa.
something going on at the front.
Teorike s'ka
There's not.
We'll
We'll be back after this break.
GG, pjesa por 8 me 7 ha, për bënejt. Nuk o keq, po nuk o edhe shumë mirë. Do ta nalim me këto muzika, se ta shkapirojnë atë shmanë tanë. Ndesat janë nisë, ja pjesa 2 janë nisë me një hafrime.
Ja nuk janë njës bashkojnë me një mop.
Ajtë shketa mushe po që sëk desat janë nisë. Derbi, ofër. Alloj derbi, 8 me 7, po nëse tash terrorista o mazër, polica ma leto kom që të mop. Tape tjerë kanë me këto mapa, burë. Kështu asë njerës rrinë me këshu lojen. الله ازقله بابا ما نولت ريما والله شو يبقى لفظ نولت ريما وندر ايش مر ريما
والله بقى بمضام من Sweden på ett det här.
Alltså här är kavet om jag zidja. Måste mycket tjur. Det tar de.
Man kör.
زمرت مصمن وكور من فير سكور زم جبانس اي تاجو كريستيان باي باي Qështu mes pjesëve s'ka nevojë me qitë se as një turnament që të këksi sene. Fillja nes ke pjesa dytë. Këta Allah, peqman të i kanë kejtë. Derbi ofër pjesës po 7-1 kema pet një farë këthimi deri shtë. Pas problem është se tash na jena terrorista, problem është. Po letë se kanë ma letë. Ja, kjo Allah. Te e pa edhe lojen e qiti njani kish pas dhej. Kjo henes të qit loje. Po, për fitora aja s'ka dyshim. Për me fitu kena me fitu, po. Normal ekipe fort. Edhe, nuk ka për mua në shkalu. Po na jena ma të fort. Duhet ta kemi parasysh që ne jena gjiganda. Po karab që rëna këtë të bojna. Kur t'ja nisim me live, dhe më kur t'ja nisim me lu lojna anë, që del na i loj e mirë, po që zel kena me gjetë na i një. T'ja nisim me live edhe kështu bash për dit. Me orare, me kejt. Ju kallëzova që tani baja dhe moderator. Po për ndryshën as kam orar për live, edhe veç kur lumë bëna e apo një live, nuk hi. Dhe me thonë, shtona e herë veç hajt. Nuk hi me orar në nësap. Veç ti shakon, si din, si ti me 15-0 i shakon tash. Alo, besën e shion në 6-0. A kam fitu bënejt në herë 16-0 kështu? Ma herët?
Ja, po di që një kam vitu. E kanë si një gjojë. Ama se di akon për turneja e.
Kam lej hare po. Blinkat po, 16-0 blinkat po. A për bënejt, di që kam fitu. Kur janë kam blink, është një loj që e kam fitu 16-0.
Për që ta po. Veç që ta kom po. Tak kështu bëna e si. Saj kobish.
Po ta 5-5, 16-0 kanë mojt. Bëna e dhe më thonë, jo blinkat. E qajtëm pek death round e këta Allah. Ha, shërë kërë. Kur po derke që kja si futbol, po kryke.
This is a much closer scoreline than perhaps we were expecting early on in the half. Falcons, they get it done.
Mi fitu dy rondat e parë, na i thënë Kate, se me altia bile.
Now a proper chance to show up, and they're Matt Pitt.
Bravo Synovs baba, shumë mire kena njësë që të rënd. Hare baba. Dy rondat me altia na vinë. Gjatë qysh. Ale flatra.
Look at his teammates, they're already establishing after plants, got Synopsy on the flank, unless these two men coming in from behind do biblical amounts of work. It's not going to happen, Masuda.
Hare dhe mi sota.
Plan.
Shkemi sota me alti i mire.
It's not going to make a great deal of difference, Nade, as well. Salt in the wounds. It's bad news Eagle.
Bravo,
Couldn't pick
Acer.
up the first pistol, but they did get the reset, and now they got the second pistol. So
2 rondat e parë.
Well,
Në rondën e parë e kryeta me
you said it would take
sukses.
biblical
Ara
amounts
dhe
of
rondi i
work. I
dytë.
think they were reading the part about on the 7th day they rested. Not quite
maybe.
the level needed.
Më kanë qeluin
I
këta
mean,
fort.
admittedly in the first half pistol, right?
Na e thanë halë më shumë.
Falcons lost all the initial engagements, and then Misuta just killed everybody. This time, Misuta only
3
killed
ronda I fitojnë
2.
tani.
So, maybe not the best
Normal,
pistol
me
strat
fito
if it
qëta.
relies on Misuta killing
Po ja,
everybody.
full lag
Especially
ka bërë.
since apparently that's where most of his kills have come from. So
Full
far.
save.
Could use him getting a bit more activated here in this half. I've just noticed he's he's been fine, but maybe lagging behind a bit here.
Nuk
Var
po
det
s'ka
kanske
pisar.
något
Gone for the eco, so we're not going to see another
Epa.
early reset unless. we
Har det
are
gone,
seeing
Heke?
some
Bravo.
truly incredible
O, bre mos ja jep sa të
traded
iki.
and re-gone,
Mirë
so
se
there's
kanë
too
marrë.
many numbers here.
S'kan
So there is
shanse.
dinked
Walk shirt knena,
to the
bravo.
ground. Good damage
Bravo
already,
Sir.
like, honestly.
Bravo
two
senjo,
frags
let's go.
on a full eco. It might not
Full
seem like a
janë
lot,
kanë, full lag.
but when we
S'kan
go into
fort
this
pesh.
following round and
Po,
if Man
nice
Eagles
eye.
do lose it, it suddenly puts them in a really tough economic position.
Ju kora futbollisti bre. Me rëndësi 2 rundat e parë i marrëm. Tash me marrë atë qëtë rond, na shkojnë tani në 12, 7.
Mad HEs, they
Mi
take
fituar
some
qëtëran.
interesting bounces and don't actually connect on anybody. So a 1-for-1 trade, make that 2 and center.
Qaja.
Oh, it gets better
Nej,
and
nej,
better.
nej. Thik! O, jo mërtuni ka akon të nej për e thik.
I'll attempt to upload that information to my brain. It might take a little
Se
while
prej
for the
t'jesh
patch
qërë.
to install, but disastrous situation here for the Falcons.
Mu përzetën të saretit knejna, njerë saretit kaltër.
Doesn't feel like
Këtu nej për e thik të unë po përstum. Dja 2 herë na prejtën
hold
thik.
on to these
Të na
as
fiton.
Bad News Eagles streak their way up to
Bum ja montu.
11.
Shpëshjet kanë me bë save.
What an explosive round. It wasn't like
Se nere do të më
Falcons didn't
largu
have the numbers
Pe
on
venit
site,
se
or maybe they
E
even
u
couldn't have
parë, man.
expected it, but they're two there. The first guy trapped by wood can't do anything as that Max 10 is absolutely Ferrari peeking up the stairs.
super.
And man
Shpëshjet
number
mapën e
two
tëmve.
just
S'po
gets
folja lo
money
herët
on
veç.
the little
Mapa
Scenario.
tëre po më duket që fiton.
Scenario, he has showed up to
Hype
play
kalla
today.
be,
He's had
mos
so
lëlla bes.
many important impact frags.
Shtatë një mlet. Atë që tronë mëjna me nëzerizi. Janë këta forcë. Me një e kjela një burst. E forë.
IGAs?
Ma bre vor.
Okay. Alright,
Ma
alright.
bre
It's
vëlla
happening.
bre.
I called the wrong
No,
player,
no,
but I'm doubling down now, Alan.
Bravo Erigan.
Doubling down. It's gonna require the
Qato
wrong
arms
ace
van mi
here
marr
to
bile këta.
convert this round.
Allah i ka rap. Sabah kur
Oh
po
my
më hongër
God.
më ja.
Got one on
Qëtar
the
së më
first
thera
half.
me hongër bak. Po edhe i rajtën. Po i vjo kështu
Shot
si
call in
forcë.
second.
Se veç me dy armë.
Rerate my
If you
chances.
say so.
Look at
If you
this
say
spot.
so.
Why they've just left B? They've gambled.
3 vese 4. I kanë marrë armët. I marrë.
GXX. Go to feast. No.
Hajde heke
Feast
sa me
over
alti.
by
Një armë e
GXX.
kanë marrë këtë. So kaq. Këqër gëndës me të falën. Ma bre gëndës.
Won't get the kill. Molotov down, misses his shot. So he's not
Shkim
going to
bota
get a
sot
chance
o
to ruin
kripon.
the ace. There are two players pushing up on the flank, including one Maka with an AK. Bomb's getting planted right in front of him. MBK down for the count.
Këshër knejna bre sinaps. Hajde Rigan do është minimum knej.
He's inroads here. 3 more targets to find.
Bravo Rigan,
No,
bravo
Props, dude,
sinopsis.
it's not gonna
Super.
happen.
GG.
It's not gonna happen.
Bravo
Prophecy
senjo.
was a sham.
Kjo veç.
It turns out I'm not an oracle.
Ruje që
I'm
digë
just a
Allah që
Counter-Strike
s'ki shaba.
caster. And Python alone against 3 does not have a lot of opportunities to get back into this round.
O të këshur me marrë në
I
jarëm.
guess I shouldn't buy a lottery ticket, Alan.
No, well, the good news is.
stop.
the
Stop me
East
dëmë
might
letë,
scare
super a
get rid of
puna.
that. The bad news is we don't.
Punë janë të shku mirë
get
shkurt.
to change your name
Shqip,
to Delphi
dzidz.
to be on a big hill in Greece.
A, marrë një jarëm.
Yo,
Inshallah se merë? E
Delphi
marrë
as a
pa
cast
shara.
name would be kind of sick. Or would it
Ashtë
be
është
an
të ka pas
Amleth?
farë me ble, po. Se
Could
vas
be
një
either,
arëgjur
I
që të
think.
pare, ta shi rëngë.
Oracle.
You just got to make mad predictions
There's gotta
all
be
day,
a
every day. It's
think
actually,
there's a
I think
CS
it
player
actually
done by
is
Oracle.
like a troll Twitter account where all you do is just make the absolute wildest predictions for every tournament.
Yeah, I
Sava
think it's called
pauz,
Danish
bre.
CS:GO leagues, right?
Mm.
Ljoja, kush kam bo.
There's not a CS player named Oracle. Hold on, I'm gonna try replacing some of the letters with numbers.
Quna mos harroni të klikoni butonin
Uh,
like dhe
free for
subscribe.
Eden doing
Nesër
things
se
about
dia
for
ka bënë
free
ja
day.
loj.
Not getting that
Nesër
either.
duhet mos e kena pushim.
Not getting that either. It does seem like we might have a little bit of a delay here, folks, while I attempt to Google Oracle. There was a team at one point called Oracle Empire. It was an Australian team that haven't played since
Zi shava loja
2017.
pauzë,
So
na.
there is a distinct missed opportunity for branding in this CS
Nesër e
team.
kena pushim.
Someone should call themselves
Tani
Oracle.
të thejmi me
Or
15
Delphi,
jena
either
në
one would be
gjysmë
pretty
finalin
sick,
Prag.
wouldn't it, Alan?
It
Doc.
would. I imagine a lot of the viewers at the moment are a little bit confused, but they need to read up on their Greek mythology slash.
Yes.
What period would it be? Probably Thermopylae.
We've got time, so let's talk about it. So the Oracle at Delphi, there was this place called Delphi, and there was an Oracle who was a young woman who lived in a cave and would make predictions.
Ja,
and
nesër ka mundësi që kena në
one of the
7.
theories about
Loj.
why the Oracle might have had visions and made predictions is that there were actually toxic
Mas
gases
nesër a pasin
leaking
pushim.
in that cave in Delphi.
Mm.
And
Ai mes 17
the
ka.
theory is that she was just
Prag.
high out of her mind constantly, and so would just rant and rave like a lunatic and make wild visions and predictions. And then basically people, you know, in the classic like, fortune teller method, you say enough things,
Veç po
give
dojnë me
enough
manu dirë, mos me
interpretations
këshirë
and
Barcelonën me
metaphors,
Bayern e
people
po
will
mduk.
figure out how it actually fits into what then occurs.
Interesting, but is it the case that there's a revolving? It's not the same person, is it? Isn't it? There is an Oracle of Delphi.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So they were all
And then-
getting gassed.
Well, I mean, I think it's like a progression. You know, you train them up and getting absolutely high in caves and making
Oh,
predictions,
yeah.
and you just keep cycling through.
Is there a gateway cave before you get on the real stuff?
I don't know. There might be. There might be a little gateway. That would be an interesting progression. But yeah, no, the Oracle pays a lot of roles in a lot of famous Greek stories. I mean, even the Iliad.
Shoshijet
In
këta,
order to launch their ships, Agamemnon was told that he had to sacrifice his daughter.
Ja,
or
han
the
kris
wings would
ma
never
betit,
start up
Bob.
again. So he did.
Por det hade kunnat bara vid
killed
dans
her
kapturen,
and
te ken një
sacrificed her,
vindas kështu
and then
veç,
when he
leje.
came back from the
Da
Trojan
nuk ka
War,
zënë tani shkoj
he
të
got
banin.
killed by his wife in revenge. It's a whole great
Shtot që
story.
gjete kështu dy,
Agamemnon,
ndoje
tragic
veç.
play, excellent stuff. Terrible story.
Mos I leket
What
një
was her
vinda.
name? What was the name of the play where it's actually about her
A
getting
për të në
sacrificed?
shapë
Come on, Alan.
I don't know. I mean,
Not collective knowledge.
I've read the modern. So there's a book called Song by Achilles, which you might have read.
I haven't. Iphigenia was the daughter he sacrificed. There we go.
Yeah, so that part is in the song.
Visë tani kur dena bra të fosë tjera, badze.
I recommend
Nuk
it.
ka
It's a very good take because it's written from. I forgot his name. Like the cousin of Achilles. It's from his perspective.
Not Ajax.
It'll come to me.
Menelaus.
No.
King of
Begins
Sparta.
with a P.
Different cousin. Oh,
Po e
Menelaus
thot
was
bëna
his
I dena
brother.
dy zara sa se kena mi. Keve kështu varës.
Was it his cousin or was it like his apprentice?
Sigurt edhe këta janë të
We're gonna have to
interesant.
look this up.
There were a lot of those Greeks, man. You're gonna have to be a little more
It's
specific.
the one he was meant to have a relationship with.
Ajo në alë rryma në njani tash, ka.
I'm not familiar. Not familiar.
Patroclus.
Patroclus, the one Achilles' lover.
Yes.
That's not Agamemnon's lover. That's Achilles' lover. Was
No, that's what I
Patroclus?
was on about.
Oh, I thought you were
We
talking
need
about
to have-
Agamemnon.
Jam
no,
su
no,
këta
no,
këso akin, since
If
vetëm
you
sa
haven't
zgo
read
dy zara ma
Iliad,
shumë si
though,
arrok.
worth it read. It's crazy. It's full of action and gore and craziness and hucking spears and stabbing gods and all sorts of strangeness. Literally, at one point, I think Odysseus fights a god or some crazy stuff happens. And then the god's like, chill, bro. If you keep doing this, I will just shred you. Like, just back off. That happens. There's a straight-up exchange where someone tries to fight a god, and the god's like, calm down. Simmer down. Hit the bench.
That is badass.
Chill out.
That is.
Oto manuala kime da fore,
Yeah,
sot i
You're
lejës.
just like, you're so insignificant to me
Hare
that
ma
I,
thon
like, if
kthejmë
you
në loj.
continue to do this, I will annihilate you. But I'm giving you a warning first.
Well, is that bad news?
Inshallah po fiton bënaja dy zara, Allah.
I think so, honestly. I mean, they've had hot starts to games. Maybe Falcons can recover, but it did feel like some of those errors that the Bad News Eagles made in the first half allowed Falcons back in around. I'm still not
Fan i
convinced by this
kosaken.
Falcons
Men Mike,
first
du vet, se dit.
Still got time. Still got time. Problem is, TC
Här är det. Shortigt här.
they've got to make some changes. They haven't had a lot of full buy rounds, honestly, on the CT side. Python, that's nice. That's
Ja,
nice.
vad
Finally an
mycket.
entry frag. And now they can settle in and play this man advantage.
Man ser typ bara håller tassa ett kikas på annars så. Bara enigt kanske med på.
It was straight on, but apparently Mr. was on the right side of that girder. Steel is thick for those kind of support beams, so I can believe that would stop a grenade. Probably wouldn't do a great deal for the structural integrity of what you're building, though, to throw grenades at the support beams. But you know what? Hopefully they don't have too careful an inspector. Python has a chance to shut down this whole round, especially if Mustafa drawing the focus. He's going to get close up. It's a bit risky, but it works out. And this
Shot me
one's
on
looking
deal,
like
shot
a
her,
wash for the Bad News Eagles.
Jesus boss.
Honestly, at this point, economic damage onto the CTs would be a great find if they can get a kill or two. Just prevent that CT economy from building up. There's one. Ooh, the second? No, Python's good for it. 1 HP, he'll survive. So this is a great round, Alan. This is a great round for the Falcons.
Huge hold from Python as well. That was a case of all the eggs in the B basket, and Python finds one kill, stalls them out, and there's no option. Bad News Eagles already are so committed to the B bomb site that they have to try and force it out, and it's just impossible with the amount of utility and our players in defense. So that was a nice round. We've got to keep it going, boys. Keep it going. You've drained the money. You've done the hard part as it was. But now this is a real challenge. This is a key round. If Falcons can win this, suddenly this game becomes a lot more competitive. And look at Maka finally feeling a little bit activated now in the AWP.
Banés انتو دو. برمي banés. Simon Tuka. Pavna mer shit kama. Sound jall. Gen se att jag driver sniperis.
Got his first kill. Nice opener.
Hade verkningsdag. Hade flättra häcke. Flättra.
IG?
Vad det går.
IG? Did he actually spawn or did he just smell him? An audio cue? What is even happening here? What? Rygun, time to get checked. Time to get your vision checked. Because that's just lost him the entire round. Okay. I'm going to charitably say that his weapon model completely blocked NBK from his vision. We didn't see it from his perspective. But that is a very fortunate bit of luck here for Falcons. And it's probably going to see them to a 9th round.
They needed it. For in the context that they lost the pistol in this half, they got reset in the first. It's not been a kind map for them so far economically.
Renection do igen.
They're really in this now, Mike. If they can keep numbers alive, bank up some cash. Ecos to follow for Bad News Eagles. I'm feeling a lot better about Falcons than I did 2 or 3 minutes ago.
But again, like, so many of the moments for Falcons aren't so much about what they've done, so much as Bad News Bears massively Bad News Bears, that's my American showing. Bad News Eagles massively overextending into situations and fights, right? Like, yes, Falcons are doing a good job of capitalizing on those moments. And that is important. That is a huge thing. That could literally just win them this game. But I'm still not convinced, Alan, that this is a smart pick for Falcons overall. I haven't seen anything too inspiring.
But even the ecstatic game that we saw last week, that ecstatic team is so hindered, especially from the leadership perspective now, that they weren't calling a great game. So I resonate, and maybe in practice this map is just landslide victories where they're getting aggressive and it's working. But here, as you mentioned, mistakes have been a little bit too frequent for Bad News Eagles, and honestly, gotta talk about MBK because he might only have 13 kills, Mike, but I swear to God, at least 11 of those have been monstrous impacts.
He is an impact fragger. It feels like he does nothing for 3 rounds, and then he lifts a 3K that absolutely wins them a situation. He should be NBI, nothing but impact. It is massive here. You're absolutely right. Lost a player already, but we got our rifle on 1 flat throw. Now we're going to see if 1 flat throw can't find him some kills. There's one. Oh, pressing forward. This is going to be Richie. I don't expect to clear by the back third, but one flat show's already found one more. So let's expect Misuta on the back side. If they can deal with Misuta, what could be? Misuta does out of bullets, but he just needs the USB. He just needs to live, actually. Keep GXX in position because his teammates are here. They're playing the angle. And provided Misuta survives, this should be over. And indeed it is. Nice play from Misuta. He has another player where I feel like he's not gotten a huge breadth of kills, but the ones he's had have been quality.
Especially on the pistols. Done a lot of work on that front. Okay, then. This is suddenly a very compelling game. And look at the money now for Bad News Eagles. That previous one... So this confuses me a little bit, Mike, because the last one was sort of a half buy. But they put themselves in a position where they've got a half buy again. The Synopsy Mac 10 utility is really low. And this is a fake, Mike. This is all a ruse just to call attention when really it's B, but Python early warning system can call that over now.
Killing mid. This could be huge. Misuta goes down with only one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're out of position. The bomb's going to go down. These rifles are still up. There is some retake utility in terms of the Molotovs. He's going to get caught. He didn't expect Rygon to make the move. So it all falls to Haji. One lonely Haji boy. He hasn't had his impact round just yet, but now would be the moment to shine. He will creep on in, but it's never going to happen. One Flatro finds the timing on the peak, and that is a 13th on the board for the Eagles.
Wow, what a round to win on the car boot sale buy. That was... I'm almost stunned how well that worked, because the A fake wasn't that effective. I mean, it held them for a little bit. They're fortunate the Falcons started free committed A, I guess. Maybe a good read on their part. But, wow, yeah, Falcons, what an opportunity missed. And now they're going to do this the hard way. Look at this yellow aggression in front of the Molotov. 3 players swinging out. I guess they've got the control, but this still feels extremely risky.
Worked out, at least for the moment. And oh, it is indeed. Haji continuing to press the issue. If he goes forward further, yeah, he is going to be dead. That was a little bit too far. But hey, an advantage still given over for the Falcons. MBK and Misuta are low. But Maka, look at this control. Look at this spacing. He's all the way back in a spawn. He's all the way back through, Alan. If they try and rotate through here, he could have the backstab. He could be the key piece into this round, but he does, at some point, need to actually get down these steps. And if they just hit B and kill Python, all of this phenomenal positioning may not actually matter. Let's find out. Maka not getting a move on. He's very far back. It's going to take a while to get mobile. Well, he is coming up on the flank. Here comes the pressure on in. That Molotov a little bit shallow.
I am back.
Maka gonna be coming around the corner. They're stalling out. Maka just missing them.
Uha, mopa puolesta.
No one's turning around. He missed his shot and he gets nothing.
Se on loiva.
He gets nothing out of the position. This has to be a save.
Lõime tramlit superkaksmia.
Thinking about it. No. MBK wants to fight a little bit more, but that's gonna be it all over.
Gärna sanna voi like ja subscribe. Bossa, Kinga.
Of all of his space, and it spells ruin to the Falcons.
Oh, that is brutal. I mean,
Skivärden.
Yeah.
Många tar igen.
My
Tjusen
condolences.
Vision
We've all
M.
been there,
Durșmetna.
but,
Mapene portiš pošijet jau rasama na šira punt.
yeah,
Super,
I think
that's my knowledge.
actually Python could have
Huh?
made a retake. Because they were trying to have the best of all worlds, hold both sides and have the flank, but they don't really have the
Mave.
numbers, so
Jo, visst klart.
that would be my criticism, but I don't
Yeah,
think they
but
played it
Paul's,
particularly
second.
badly, to be honest. Python bought a lot of time. It was just when crunch time came, Maka couldn't connect, unfortunately, and God, this is going to be brutal for Falcons.
That's might not let
It
easy.
just
Let just let Chan Kai
It
Mark.
just feels like, first of all, how have they made it a 10? With some of these rounds, how they're conspiring, but also they equally have left quite a lot on the table, I think.
Bravo, Senel. Czy wysoko by boomia? Lag baka.
I'd like to say
Laga.
I feel the Python P250 play here, but I don't.
Bak passa pas. Fått jag refresh.
That's right, I don't.
Allah,
Just
jag
didn't have the
missar
same
på
juice,
matchen.
didn't have the same sauce.
Mira.
Energy.
Undreć.
And this
Yeah.
one's gonna be clean. 5 rounds to close here for the Bad News Eagles to walk away with their opponent.
Pierwszym kapak G'za po Andrzejcie Szwej.
Super comfortable for them, and well, definitely not for the Falcons. So, this is kind of the scenario I was
Startu
imagining when we saw the
stabilizuješ,
video
fått
to
jag ner
begin with.
refresh.
This
Ale mir
was a
på
little
duk.
bit of an interesting
Wait,
questionable
pes,
video
wait,
here for the
hajde, veç vyn pak fat me pas
Well,
që të rëndë edhe pja
Just might
nxojna
need
mapën e
more
parë.
fine-tuning, it seems. But let's see. Would be the first time a team's run 5 back in a row. And Python has just dunked a meaty nade right in the right on
No,
slap. Here we
bravo,
go.
Synops.
Python getting frisky with it. A second
Odra
player
tre.
drop. The bomb down. That's committed. Flashes are good here to take the space. But Missy
Ma.
wants to hold the line. The Bad
Vi-
Eagles, having lost a player on the flank, now don't know where to turn.
Kena shans.
All right.
Men janë në rëndin tjetër me provu me fitu. Po, si djetë, ka mundësi që Gensen. Ja, va pal. Hare Gens. Bravo Gens.
That's a nice
2 vs 2.
but it just feels like the
Ma bre mas. Bravo! Hare. 2 vs 2. Ma.
MBK swinging. Thank God he found that kill, Mike, because
Hare Gens.
this was getting scary.
No
And Hadji
scope
on
that
the
hop.
flank, he was a long way off. Now he's
Scheisse.
finally covering
GG.
ground. MBK
Aż
fails
tak
them
jakieś
out in the
mitkie
end, but
tietry
that
anasz.
went a lot closer than it ever should have.
Story of Falcons game so far.
Kena pala edhe për 2 runda me provu.
But okay. They'll be able to continue fighting at the very least. Some limitations in this one as a result of all the casualties in the last.
Po si në mëzblej.
The play is good enough.
Pak fati na mungaj se e fitesh.
Now we just need to see the execution. GXX looking for a fight early on. For a pick.
Ma flatra, mos del flatra.
AWP focused in. Facility on
Bravo.
it. Ooh, I don't know about that swing back in. I don't know about that check.
Ding.
He's been dinked up, been put on notice.
Yeah,
They know the
foot.
op's there. They will give him the ground for now. But it may not last.
Alla personer, love.
Elsewhere, that helps.
Sen är det najmöten igen.
I imagine Mako might want to get away from this.
Ja mos harroni të klikoni butonin like edhe subscribe. Ti vojna 150 like sa t'ja hojna bilen.
Consecutive opening picks now on that side of the map.
Mojshëm,
Looks
mas
Synops,
mojshëm,
he knows
shnash.
the deal.
A më dohet.
Gain ground on his own, but that more
Ale Synops?
force him
Ma
wide,
bre
straight into
bor.
the waiting arms of Masuti.
Tre lejtar janë loved
1v5.
aty me, ama jena
The
53.
only saving grace here, Mike,
Gensen
is CDs
na
are out
vin
of
qëto me
position.
hek një.
Heavily towards A. They find
Bravo,
the kill
Flatra.
away from
Hajde,
suddenly
man,
an
fund.
avenue, a route into B is open.
Për mas, hale hek Rigan, qaja Rigan. Rigan baba, 3 vs 2 e kthejmë rezultatin tani.
Close contact, you'd say maybe
Plenty,
that was a little
plenty po na
greedy,
vyn,
maybe an
hajde.
overextension, But hey, if you just delete the head, that's fine. Bomb's gonna go down. And one flat throw.
Bravo. Ma
Ma
pa par. Ma pa para që e fitojnë bëne e të ndëruar meq. GG. Ja u fitonë mapën atyme. Tash do me thonë ku kem në Miragja. Mirage. Map tonë. Qështë na tha aj tash se dija është e vërtet. Good. Very gooden. O, niso! Që është jetë 2-0, ha? Më të dhe... Ja, nisi këmë këto mapat e leshit, inshallah s'na e s'ka të fort. Vesht. Nashta se barazojnë. A, që si dijet, valla ka mundësi që e hopu me dhe mapën tërë, ama... Shansat janë për me fitu na... Shansus. Me këta mapa Allah s'ki ha. Bajat për bërë. A dole rangdisa reja? Në në të shë? Po. Dje ka bo update. 31 na. Këta?
Tu zonë vena, vend e mas vend.
Ta 34. Na jena kon ma nalë bile. Me fituat që t'loj, ka gja hypa. Në mas shumë t'jena kon 22 në dokat. A 21. Jo, 18 ka shmi kon mas shumë t'i. 21 ka shmi kon me blinkat. Tet më dhej dhe më thonë bënë e janë rang. Para me na me shku top 3 e pi. Që lej për luj ka që shpëshijet. Hajde inshallah pe kryna 2-0. Të shkojnë ata shkjo Barcelonën. 18 i na konë në rang, mas shumë ti. Kur i na konë të lu për ma jarë, do me thonë, i na konë vene 18. Me po me na i barazo s'ki, kur të kryet 9 gjys. Në hëmë që një game i në këto fshatin tema dhe ka të CSGO, që CSGO që pe lujnë bëne e të lujnë për e të fare të thonë me vetit. Ta shpeshe sa zëre pas kanë bëne e të me lujt. A, vallaj. Jo me në një që leta, mo këto. Vynë strategjie, plane, e ke po ketë me letra rrinë. Ku me gju smoking, ku me gju flashin, ku ketë. Një milimetra për këqëshin. Na përpara Allahve që kina lu hajde posh dili mëtë edhe hajde. Që da me mri ma shumë, atëherë do të me punu fort se ndrysh. Sen së më panë. Pa strategji. Se ketë na për ketë mapa dosh me pa strategjit. Se cila mapa për shembull është A dhe B. Tash do të mi pas edhe na qysh me një edhe në B strategjia. Plus ku me gjus më ke flashe, më latova, më me miftare. I verle. E ba ata më nësh me bajt det me ndru.
Të që sa bo?
Me mas, CSGO-n e kalon me këcy. Këta tën ka njerë po gotën. Pikape euforia, rrit. Sidomos që si po jena në përsi, pelshojna. Se shpej 7 njave na I këthena. E 8-7, po. 6 runda, ball. Bënajt, ja, pa, mos me pas strategji së në këshin marrinja, po. Janë edhe shumë, kështu, janë lejtarë edhe individuala që mëjnë me bo vetë. Rigonin për shemëll, mundet me punu edhe vetë. Edhe me kam pale sa kun 4 se nja, 5 se nja, mundet me bo vetë. Genë, si që ashtu, seneri, flatra, ma, po dijet për flatra. Janë edhe lejtarë individuale, edhe, që mëjnë me bo dishka dhe vetë. Kur së më nëshmi thonë, ja, Allah, s'ka shansë me të vetë e hup. Po sa dhe ke fiton të më për e por. Faloj Arlen, dyre pas se ta shu shtrejtu. Pa dhe valë tani edhe pi kundërshtare, se ata kundërshtare që kanë eksperiencë të fort. Ta qajnë kërujt, s'len as frim me marë, si ti dalsh. Te ke një por ma jarës. Ski. Na dhe kur na dalë kena ekipe fort. Probleme shke me po t'i shka. Ama na në top 10 që do t'me ka rang gjithqysh. Se jena të fort. Pse jo në top 5 që bële. Ta shyrëm që të majorin si vjetë qa do të bojna. E sa si jenë 16 në hëmë. Qa ja. Ka ekipe o la. Qërë tash Fejz nuk më nësht me krasu me bëne e se Fejz këtë senet I kanave din. Ma ti është si ekipa ja, ma ti egziston si klan. Për shembull Fejz, menaxheri ata e kontrollon këtë, ai oblin kompjutera, ai dhomën. Ai të shtën dhomën që thot kime ushtru për zëdet ka 5-6 orë. E ka puna ja, përdin. Edhe që shto e kanë. Plus mirë me organizim këto bëneja, këtë trajneri o mirë me organizim. Amo mirë me organizim, amo mirë me ekip, me strategji. Këtë stikli ka bo këtë. Amo na për shambull, qysh jena, qysh kena shku dhe atje, jena super. Tash si vjetë, po pretendoj me fitu sigurt. Bash sigurt jo veç. Në finale bile kena me shku. Po janë konë edhe me blinga me herë. Po. Janë ka me blingat për shambull aty nuk e di tash që i kam pas marrëveshjet, po tek që janë dalë, sot janë mirë vesh në i sen. Ama që tash janë lejtarë në disponim shumë. Edhe më po vërejet kur po luajnë, me desh me fitu e fitojnë lojën, kur po koncentrohen. Normal, Allah, se këta më të e luajnë. Lojtari fërë s'mon është më bo për një javë, për një muaj, për një vjetë. S'ka shans. Duhet këgja. Çfarë du shloje dhe më thonë? Ama dhe këta janë kombinuar me zeti këgja mirë. Ja dhe që këna i teshi me këta mapa, në nëzirë i njërë, Allah. Ta janë kombinu fort, Allah. Platër Amerigonin dyshe e fort, sinopsi me senerin dyshe e fort, genë si ma baba veta. Hare vi inshallah ba pa fulli se la leo dhe burra. Por që spritoj mi marro që të ma Allah pa lidhje mu po mdokën. Nashta këtu ju duken dishka interesant që kanë bo amo. Ja, si më zdel qaj të lu futbol, ma pa full ka. Ta nda si pa vitet pa e gull barqës. Ja, ben ashtë se banat nam. Pa të sajnë alloj, një 3-4 vjetë janë ba. Ja, nisi loja. Shumë se mirë bo.
Welcome back here, folks. A nice first map for the Bad News Eagles, taking the dub over the Falcons. Some moments there for the Falcons, but we never really got the complete picture. That Vertigo made a lot of sense. Now we're headed over to Mirage, and it should go from bad to worse, theoretically, here. Alan, do we have any hope for the French squad?
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued because Mirage, I don't think I've seen
përdojna skamet, përdojna trauna Fortnite.
They played OG and got 11 rounds off in the RMR qualifier. So
nuk ban me do
that's
këtë
honestly not an
kompjuter.
awful result, but that's the scary aspect for me is there is an angle
për na
that
do
on
thjesht I
Vertigo,
mirë,
both teams
nuk
are
ai
a bit
keq.
out of match fitness, but that's not the same story on Mirage. Bad News Eagles is this 5-man lineup have just played, you know, just honestly biblical amounts of Mirage. So many games against so many good teams. And that's my main fear is that Falcons, they're making some fundamental errors in match one, and surely when they're considerably the least experienced side on this map, maybe those aspects are going to be even more kind of exacerbated now we're on Mirage.
Ja, po alla. Sen si kom dru përveç SSD-ën që ja kom dru, mo pa djek që atëherë rryma kronal ke mamati.
Over on the Falcons, it felt like
Sen tjetër si kom dru ma as grafik, as procesor, as
but it never felt consistent in terms of the
Ryzen 7
definitely didn't feel
2700.
like the initiative was there with the Bad News Eagles, and
Si,
Mirage tends to be
veç.
one of those maps where you can flex that individual prowess.
Hare për
So
hare,
Center Eagles
ma pa
having a
dyt.
great game, Sonatsi had some
Hare
deep
inshallah
moments,
2-0,
PXX was
pa
the
t'ja u
opposite,
kry.
getting his more often than not. Really, all the pieces were hitting. And, well, okay, we're going to get a fast play here, it seems, from the Bad News Eagles. Everyone into the apartments. Why not? Let's just hit B. Roll the dice. Flip the coin. The Falcons
Eliza
should be able to
startar
respond
si
really quickly based
startse.
on their positioning, but
Det ska jag film
being able to
tjetër.
respond and being able to execute
Kjo
different
marshall për
things.
gaming.
Let's find out which they can do here. Shoots up, finds one. There's another.
Tra
Hangs up
sekunder,
on the
ha
side.
det.
He's been the thorn in their side on these pistol rounds, and
Sen
seems
är
like
det
that's
vet
gonna be
mål.
the case once again. As it's just down to Scenari. He is eliminated.
Tror det
Nisuta,
blir
I
nimla
don't think he's
tappa
got much
Nisse
three
död.
kills with a pistol yet.
Didn't he get one T-side? He's
I
up
think he got
Vertigo.
one too. I think he's still got a multi-kill. Maybe just
Well,
two.
whatever. It's still pretty good. I actually really liked the little kind of crossfire between Masuta and Python there. Python tucks in. I'd call it the empty corner.
Pjesa par më kry non
Just
gjasht për
tucks
ata
in
nuk
enough
ka
and can't
catch.
be spotted. Jiggling from empty was Masuta
Sa problem.
on the kind of
Terrorist
peeking
me
the
fitu
van
këta.
side. It was a really nice 1-2 punch where they're helping each other out. And
Po që
clearly,
mi sota
it
me
looked
alti
pretty
fort.
good.
Anena në par 4 kilo në par
That's a
gon.
nice frag. Had you said,
Tra
I'm
sa
holding on to
katër.
connector, I'm fighting for this control.
Ha det flättrar blir häckarna i arm.
Well, that one's over now. Haji puts the final nail in the coffin there. Nice start for Falcons. Comfortable. Don't get upset in the second round. Not a repeat of Vertigo here. Don't drop anything to the pistols. To be fair, no 5.7s were available for Bad News Eagles for obvious reasons there, so they can't be expected to convert.
No, that's the kicker. That's the kicker.
No, Kickert's on a different team.
Oh, sorry. Wrong region there. I forget myself. Maybe I'll see some outsiders in.
Tamam. Yesala bana intihara fiton par. Po.
There's one.
E pata me përsim. Qatë të me 7 plus I fitonëm 2 rundat e parë.
Not
Qa ja na I bani avantazhin tani.
Suddenly, a little bit of intrigue here. Not
E na
much.
për momentin pun
A little bit.
catch I kena.
One Flasho's got no health, but he does have a gun, and now he has neither.
Bravo
I think
Vesinaps.
it's mostly about damage,
Me
but
multi
Synopsy
marsa
has
tar
found
me
a bit of
roja
balance.
si
They managed to
shaban.
sneak a bomb plant somehow. That'll be a bit of a magic trick.
Se de hasarën me marrë me në.
Uh-oh, they think it's clear. Just go to B. Just go to B. Oh, no. Just do it. Do it. Doesn't have the read. Synopsy's killing enough. He's done so much damage. Now, does Scenari really commit back into this? They're wary. They're like, okay, where is the bomb? Have we been bamboozled? They're rotating off. This could still be a bomb plant.
GG
Everybody's
se
out
nere
of
bana
position.
me montu easy.
Scenari just jumps down. Okay, now they've split
Aj,
the difference and they
vor
have to
koll
throw
e
a
shok
lot of
thyja
bombs
laj
there
mot.
where Bad News Eagles could have gotten a bomb plant out of it. 3 kills is not bad damage. That round getting a little hairy for the Falcons, considering they got all of the initial kills.
Yeah, and throw in that they kept second round so clean. That's a big dent. They lose this one, Python, Haji, nothing in the bank, MBK as well. 3 players are in double eco territory if they lose this without a save, so could bite them in the backside. Problem is actually for Bad News Eagles, real lack of utility. They've got to spend early smokes, 2 of those down for mid control, so already down to 2 smokes, that could be a little bit of an issue.
Qëtëran do të me fitu gjallësysh për ndrysh, shkum për lesh. Me go me hupa që të rëndë 5-0 tani taj.
A bit of exchange in mid. Utility being used here from the Falcons. As we've seen before, though, Alan, Bad News Bears, or Eagles, again, it's just ingrained in my brain. I watched so many games. They inspired the name of this team.
Shqip.
Ironic.
Ja,
considering
shqiptar
how much
Mohamed
success
që,
their,
Minnesota.
EU counterparts have had.
Se
But
shqiptar po thënë qa, që taj shqiptar, kanë rrënjë shqiptar të maj pagu
we
me
do
dhe
see them like to play once they've already dumped the utility and they're just ripping heads. Hard to rip heads when Python's killed you, though.
Pibjen
I'm
që
gonna
një,
start an
kjo 10 ka 20 ka pi marka,
I would be
Ooh,
deeply confused.
Gänse.
That would be a sick team name, though, to be honest. Nice trades here. The site's been lost. An advantage
Traversa
available,
deux,
but
Synopsis
Misuta
from
on a
left.
flank. The bomb is planted. He can't deny that. But a backstab about to come
Yeah,
through,
man,
and well, that
fuck.
kill's just been realized. GXX gonna have to do most of the defending here. The bomb is planted open for him. They have another smoke to cover off his vision.
O Synops, për mas më
Bad
ranena
for
e ki.
GXX unless he just gets that kill right off the rip. All on the Misuta and
S'ka kon të
Misuta
ditë
never
Synops e
gets a
që e
chance
ka
to
myt.
shoot back. Well played from the Bad News Eagles, and they are on the board.
Good round, good round. Took a lot of space on A. After plan was a little dicey with all the flanks, but good position
Super
in the end. And
trevegna.
now that economy problem is real.
Fitohet që të rad i shon hala ma mirë.
She's actually going to drop
Tani majna me barazo
one
nëse
M4,
fitojnë
it's
që të
gonna
rand.
sign into no utility. Hyphen NBK on the Deegs. And a
Need to
glass
two
cannon
health.
from Maka. This is
Si
a
shkon
jump
të një
sale.
hez, no,
This
that-
is
Qysh bre headshot bre flatra.
Okay, they got my attention now.
I mean, we said it on Vertigo. He only got kills when they mattered.
That must
so
mean
if
more,
he gets
yeah,
a kill,
bro.
that means they're winning the round. I'm pretty sure that's how it works out in the NBK math,
Atat më të mitë të njëtën tem si shon.
based on what we saw in Vertigo.
They need to get out of this 4A. It's too much.
Odd that the Bad News Eagles come back to hunt it, though. This could actually play beautifully into their hands. They're gonna flash into this at the
Ja, men
least.
på må smake
Can't try swing
standard
it.
fil. Shkon për lesh.
Player playing anti-flash with the rifle. Yeah, okay, sure. That's a choice. Trade will be there.
Vok që për mas.
Scenario does not even remotely consider that someone else
Shaj,
might
tuk
be home.
shyra
And
ne,
that
na,
is a
bre.
kill coming on through. All right. Punishment.
Hare,
coming
Travis
on
a
in.
dy.
Obviously trying to
Heke,
crack
bre,
some
dhe
back to
qatë
the
on.
noble possibility, but it's
Hare
not
gans.
looking likely, and now GXX will be the next victim.
Shajs.
Nice hold there from Falcons, but what was that clear back into ramp? That seems a tad ill-advised here, Alan.
Yeah, I guess they put down the nades on mid, expected the rotation, but Falcons, if anything, were leaning overly so on towards A, so they just committed to it, and wow, that was a chance for Bad News Eagles. They had the economy on the ropes. Could have really streaked ahead, but it's flipped completely on the script. And now they're on the
Pull
pistols.
që kena vazharat.
And Falcons, after a troublesome
Pa, në me
first
fitos
map,
sta me
after
pistole,
barely
Kip.
ever being in any economic control,
Fort në kishtë thuj.
it's looking pretty good here so far.
Ooh. Nice couple of kills come in concert. It's definitely looking good in this round. No risk from the pistols. We have seen them get a little hairy at times for the Falcons, so finding 2 kills early on is really nice. Now they just have to avoid doing that thing where they give up a few too many kills once the round's already been decided. But that is a big but, to be fair. They don't do that. This should be glorious. And now they're so well set up for this underpass play. Don't see a world where they get past MBK.
Sen
Okay,
baba
never
të.
mind. The world has become reality. Scenario gets that shot. Still should be the backstab from Khan. Don't
Dhe ishte në
die
skopo,
here.
të kjo
All
mos i
you have
tjetër.
to do is not die here. They don't seem to realize where GXX is, though. Khan's maybe not on point. I don't think he was spotted, so a kill potentially available here. The catwalk player should have him. But they haven't seen him just
Hake.
yet. They're repositioning. And so a kite shot
Puh, la 4
will
HP.
leave Haji alive. My goodness. Again, a situation where the Falcons had full control and doubted themselves just a touch too much. Nearly gave back kills. This time, they're not punished for it.
Still though, fairly clean. Really all that matters. The Bad News Eagles back on the bye. Their map pick of course. Already up 1 to the good in this series. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued about how they're going to approach this T-side because it's suddenly become a lot more difficult. Look great for them. Running some good rounds and apartments aggression in the palace. Early trade found. Haji has the control. I think Falcons will like this.
Ah, fart ka që kena punë valla. Duhet mi fito valla. Që të rënda rundin tjetër, tani e ngushtojnë e përsin. Për ndrysh nëse jena ti, nëse e hupu ma që të rëndë, s'ki valla. Gjithë për na bje me runi rund eka.
A moment passes
Hare
here.
gen, o gen s'la po, just ja po bëhen. Për pak. Bravo, hare hekne.
Information, but at what cost? So much health lost. He's alive. For how long?
Chaya.
Not long. Rygon
Called
cracks his
Acer.
first kill on towards the board, and suddenly things look very good for the Bad News Eagles in this one. Haji, actually doesn't get that kill to Misuta instead, so they did pinch into the one, but they know where the two remaining players are. There's plenty of time. Bad news,
Målback
Eagles
och
might just leave.
King. Och så
Instead, they
det
face into
kör
each
med
other, and
lag
suddenly
Carter
all the
död
kills go
Dunion
back
i
the other
själv.
way. So, a clutch required.
Try to
Attack
stick.
with no frag. That has to be so frustrating. He was already low. And the peak's just gonna come through, and there's a cleanup. Dynamic
Phew.
duo of Misuta and Haji in a hopeless situation. Somehow make that round work. Alan, they knew where both players were. They could have left.
They certainly knew where Haji was earlier in the round, which is why I'm perplexed, because surely you have to guess he's still in Palace at that sort of timing. I don't know. They'll watch that round back and really question themselves of why was there no attempt made at B? Why did we just scale up A? Why was a player on top of stairs exposed to Palace? Only explanation, Mike, is communication breakdown, and well, this map is slipping away from them very quickly at the moment.
Control towards ticket, bomb going down, a knife in the smoke. What is happening here? Madness! The knife comes out, the kill goes in. Now Python's off a flank, a player into sandwich. To be collected, and there it is indeed, though this clock is ticking away. They need to get some sort of kills to make this post plant a possibility. It just nothing is working out here. It'll have to be scenario with this one found rifle. Synopsy goes hunting, but that's not gonna be on the cards. For one trade, a chance with
Bravo, Sana.
Tech9 might need to see this through, and that won't happen. A defuse on, just enough time to get this done. The Falcons once again against the Pistols. Let these rounds get way too close, but at this point it doesn't matter.
Hello,
They're just
nice.
stacking on the numbers one after another.
Nah, he near
That
faulted
stairs
shit mob.
engagement was interesting. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything quite like that.
Fart catch again up on.
Knife kill will take it. Plenty of money in the bank as well, so no complaints at all. Pauses set to come out. Can only imagine tack pause are likely from Bad News Eagles, as
Kill mob by Jön.
struggled a lot on these gun rounds. Started off this game well. They had a couple more where they probably should have converted it, so just need to calm down, I think. Mid defaults, I think they're fine, Mike. I think they're getting the control. It's that next step where there's been problems.
Navy där onda med fitosas. Det känns massbak till Katarun där av.
Opening exchange there, 1 for 1. Not bad for the Bad News Eagles. They'll probably take that arithmetic. But it's a question of following it up. We haven't seen too many plays here in towards B. And admittedly, this time we may not either. Utility early has pushed them back, and Maka wants to zone out this apartment. Flashbangs have done a good job of keeping him off the angle for now, but he's looking for this next shot. Oh, whence is going to come the swing? Synopsy's been allowed connector for free. No one's watching this. There's no presence in towards mid. Synopsy is in jungle. What on earth is happening here? It's so early in the round, Alan. A minute 8. But with this vent broken, now Synopsy's going to see if he can't control a rotation. If they just leave, well, there's Haji and Spawn. This is an
Who's the
absolute
CTs
cuckoo round.
and who's the
Hade det gone hack över det?
I don't even know
Bravo.
anymore. But Haji lost now means they got great positioning in towards A. They're going to rock on through. Python's the only player who's even close. They know no one's in window. They don't have to worry about that. They can play it safe for Catwalk. They've got vision on this the entire time. This is such a bizarre round. Unless Python finds a kill here, I could see a world where this just becomes a save for the Falcons. And they can too. They're going to the apartments. They don't want this.
Kör
Now Python does have a
Allah.
kill, and so they have to decide if they're going to rotate. What? Okay, they're not. Falcons are playing it so
this
slow.
is on.
Python's done enough
This
work.
is
They
on.
should be
This
releasing.
is on.
What is happening? But they're still not here. Python's just gonna do it himself. Fine, I'll do it all. Nobody has to get this kill. If he does, it's over. And he does. They don't have time. They don't have time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They do not win this round.
GG.
Purely because Falcons refuse to actually rotate into the retake. What an absolutely insane turn of events. First,
Fast han passar runt taket mot sil med våra tät.
can't believe what
Kan
we
man nog
just
köra
saw.
börja.
Okay, Synopsy walks up connector, isn't checked.
Da, qysh thajka,
Walks
qa po
into
di.
jungle, isn't checked, is all the way in window.
Ja,
haven't
na
seen
Allah, veç me
nobody.
montu bomën se
This
ndrysh.
time, Haji has walked into
Qeni s'na.
spawn. Haji gets caught. Dead.
Me montu
So now they've
bomën
got
edhe do
four
t'me
on
palu
three.
me një
A
paket.
free walk into sight. The bomb goes down. Python's been back in CT spawn this whole time. Python somehow kills 3, leaving it to a 1v3 clutch. What on earth? did he
Flatrën
see?
gjithët e mytë që kjo bur. Gjithët
Can't add
shat
anything
bile.
to that, Mike.
Bravo,
There
Erikan.
is a place reserved in hell
Bravo.
for
Hajde hek në
those
qëto.
rounds of Counter-Strike. And look at this one from Falcons. Early advantage starting.
Bravo, Erikan. O qartë Rigoni pa sharap.
We've seen it too many times.
Tre
in this
veta e ka
game.
ik
I
Rigoni.
mean, maybe not so much on Mirage, but on Vertigo this is happening a lot where getting a little bit sloppy, I think,
Shumë
from
lartë
both
me lojnë
sides.
bomën,
And
bra.
look at this. Look at the mini-map. So spread
Që
out.
Allah tash
I
dësë
don't
dhe.
want to see any memes about any CS anymore. Because this is the most madcap CS I think I've ever seen. And I've
Effektivt.
capped all the regions at this point. SA, Asia, NA. Somehow this is
Ama
blowing
që të
my
bu me
mind more.
bepelojnë largë që desa për shumë e morë, desa
Than
për
any of
klejet,
that.
ta po pozicionohen a bur.
Just,
Bravo,
oh,
Seneri.
this Utah, trust your read.
Po t'ja pa.
Trust your read.
GG e nëzarë.
Now he's down. Haji's so out of position, Alan. So out of position.
Jo e si dije se kjo mot.
It's the risk you take when
Inshallah
you're
by
playing one
save.
apiece on the sites. And look at Haji. I mean, is he already consigned himself to playing for
Based on
X at
last
his
round.
best?
I'm surprised he's even this close to the site.
Quna nëse se keni ball like a subscribe,
Be up and live.
atëherë çfarë po pretni? Bëjeni sepse është free. Gjithashtu klikojeni linkun në pin.
What a
I mean,
bizarre.
genuinely.
What a bizarre
GG
game.
73.
What a
Ua
bizarre
mos
game.
i bani bre pikse.
Are Falcons just like
Shkon pashtë.
not with defusing bombs? Are they
Hajde
used
like,
to it?
ti bojna 150 like atje hajna bilan. Shpërdojeni më live, shpërdojeni. Shpërdojeni live. Ja, kojna
Too
bilan.
much of a risk,
Ti
maybe.
bojna 100 watching si dje.
Haven't got their juggernaut suits. Bit of a pause. As I'm guessing Falcons are discussing, do we buy up here? Lost bonus cannot be good. Haji could drop a FAMAS. I mean, this is not a clean buy, but they have pulled it off already on this map on a very similar purchase, so there'll be an argument on that front.
No way.
They're
they
looking
do it.
around.
Klatra, o t'ja
Here's the
qok
question
lytet
is,
që
if
qajnë në
they're just
bëkaja
lying
olla.
for the save, does
Nëse
he
myta
give up?
qëta herë, 2 herë e ka myt në altin dhe ukat.
He's gonna give it to Maka. Good lad. That's selflessness there. Just have to play with a USP as a result.
Give him a pistol, man. Come on.
Let him buy a P250. Ah, Deagle. All right, okay. You're living a life of luxury here.
Full save një java ma, kejt. Bomë s'kam bli këta heq.
Orbs on the
Mëjna me
right
fitu
side.
që të randizi. Vish mos më gut.
Is it gonna hit? Nope, not for the first one. Not for the
Bravo.
second. Uh-oh, third.
Ciao.
Oh, and
Flatra,
another
peti
chance.
par dhe që ma
Another
me snipe
chance.
se ro.
Okay. Now they know they're coming into the reinforced site.
Një me
Python's
zara
got
jena
bomb
me
on the
map
window,
për
so they
kari,
are
na të fitu
committed.
na një me zara që të mapën e
Pass it
dytë i na të hu 7 me 3.
Python hasn't healed just yet, and they don't check him. They don't check
Ma
him
be borre,
at
ka të
all.
fitu.
Python strikes. Quite the kill through there, and now they know they've got pressure on with a shot from Maka.
Eko vlo, eko e hapëm rondin. Me një snipe, apo që shkana bo një snipe.
And it turns out the Deeg wasn't even needed. My
Kja.
goodness, the bad news, Eagles, their tendency sometimes to jump before they look comes back to bite them in a big way.
What smoke did they throw? I mean, it's just par for the course that you smoke the window on a B-pop, the market window. I don't know why they haven't done that. They also know that Mac is saved, so why not use some more use? It doesn't make sense,
Me
Mike.
dy snipe a bësa.
I guess that's status quo for this map so far.
Po vërtet. سموكس بان شهادة تدري تاوري عسان بلو ساي سنين تم طوي سايت برافو
Center with an
سنات
opener there, the one rifle. Now they're going to trade around. Just down to the deagle, but we know that these are the kind of rounds that can, for some bizarre reason, get out of hand.
برافو فلاترا مان فون جيمز يا تو
What? The lineup misses up. Gets both.
برابور
The bomb's been dropped very conveniently for one
قاش
Flutter to be able
بيت
to recover.
الله
But a deagle 1v2 would be far from the most insane thing we've seen so far in this series.
منطقة شوي سعر ان شاء الله منطقة بدأ
Bomb money comes in at the very least, but instantly deleted.
بدأ باور
Okay. At least some sanity will prevail in this round, but the Falcons are allergic to clean conversions in these situations. That nearly got so very hairy, Alan.
Yeah, it was only a half buy as well, Hero AK. 3 kills. A 3 on 2 at one moment.
Double up. Alright.
Alright. Bit of an adjustment. Bomb plant will ensure a very nice buy for Bad News Eagles, but as much as this game has been carnage, it's been close, every single round honestly feels like a 50-50 with 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually detract from the fact that Falcons are 9-3 up.
يبدو
Their
روندا
opponent's
بالعب
map pick, and Bad News Eagles have
بلا
struggled
باس
a
لغاية ما
great
باس
deal
مخلي
in the
بيسا
last
بارك
few
كنا
games.
شانس ميا كثير تالي نسي فيديونا دي روندا تبارك بسوت
It does feel at times like Bad News Eagles are just calling a strat out of spawn and then just hitting. This time again, they're going to lose an exchange here by the ramp early on. Would love an extra HE. There is one on Long Quattro, but he's not present.
رمضان سموك يا خاب
Rygon taking a dink through the smoke. This could be in a really tough spot. That's a huge kill for MBK. There's that
شفنا
impact
بقايا
frag coming back to bear.
هيك اعتراض زو فلاترا
This
هيك كايا بلا
should being the operative word, be a prime situation now for Falcons. But Synopsy through the connector. This could get interesting.
Look at Maka though.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That should end this. That should end everything. So knowing how this has gone so far, they're going to kill everybody on site before he actually gets activated. Here comes the play. Synopsy deleted. So important there from MBK, but Gap keeps the players stalled out, and they may not even need the ramp play. MBK just does it all himself. A nice 4K in a round. Welcome to the server, MBK.
Looking good. Impact Fragger back on the board.
يلا سكور شانس ايش
Good hold from him. I mean, Bad News Eagles. I think you're right. They are.
ما
calling a lot
بطريقة
of,
سلاحة
say 4-1s,
ددوست يا
which is when you load up one area on the map with 4, you have a lurk on the other side, you apply a bit of pressure, and you try and pop in and get aggressive. That's been the story of a lot of these gun
كنا
rounds.
بقايا كيت فلاترا
They've just
نغمت
struggled to get out in good numbers, and
كيت
it
كيلا
surprises
بيقا
me that their
فلاترا
mid defaults I think are fine. Look at this one though. Pace is up. Trying to take the space. NBK top of connect, but Mac is nearby, and now that there's AWPs in play, thank God there's a smoke to isolate him back, because that could have been still is bad.
سموك الله هيك
They need a pop-off play for the Bad News Eagles. They need some.
روندي ما هذا كاتر كي لا يبون يا
One of the next 2 rounds. I just want to see something like what we saw in Vertigo. Well, that's a start. Okay. All right. That is a
Check out
starter
Python.
here. He's going to find the bomb if he gets his kill. He does. That's the bomb. None of the rest matters, and, well, the rest is pretty good.
يا باكش هذا
Rygon
شمبا
alone. 1 HP. Is he going to stub his toe? Is that what's going to do him in? This would be beyond the pale. Might find the kill on Tamaka.
شت سنايبر هيك
Is going to find the kill on Tamaka. But anything more, this would be absolutely absurd, and they're expecting him at this point.
بس
You know he's
يديلا
coming.
برشيتي شكو
Plays for a name. Oh,
Any stuff.
برويا مال
that would have been awesome. But another round with no bomb plant. This has gone off the rails.
مني هبايش هيك ابو
Completely off the rails with Bad News Eagles. They can't gain any space in a good position. That round, fast mid take and one spam for a smoke, and the round stalled out. It looks very disjointed, and in these moments where they have to change their mind and hit another site, it's just been a mess. So How do you group from here? Looks like they're going back to the tried and true, Mike. All A and explode out.
انظر گونی کس پیچه صفریکه آره
Oh, trade 1-for-1, so at least they get this foothold. It was light presence on the site for the Falcons. Kind of swept away here. Well, the reinforcements have been here in time, and the smokes aren't brilliant. The kills are better, though. Okay, all right. Misuta out by ticket. They need to deal with him, but they've done exactly that. It's all in a python, and desperation.
Bravo, bravo.
Has no interest in this
In
one.
late call.
So at least a fourth round recovery to take.
Duhet me fitu 2 rundat e parë se për ndrysh në hëngër ndëreshja hajt. Duhet më në hajt se vëtë një më skaj. Ku se kajt? Yani si ke me këta reklamat e motit ta pubre në onën ta o inshallah fa reklamat lesh.
Wat met dat helemaal? Hongerboek? Ja, doen.
Bö. Här är det så att det är reklamat måste ni bara lägga och subscribe. Ti bojna një 150 like ashtu. Muito. Shumë ka zot që doje. Para në pjesa 2 orë. Atëherë me 1 orë e gjysë u kry kishin 2 mapa. Ky pullot gjysore qëto ti kaltu qëto lesha. Ku mos me zgat. Shaboni në tere për e me. Pas ka fitu 2-0. Në tere, stapa garitëm që e kena ngrobili. Do të nemi pas ka hopë. Ka 15 minuta. E I kanë qitë formacionet dhe? Po. Rafinha, Lewandowski, Dembele, Acer. Qërë për ku e ka shti Allahën se në luje sa e ka bli. Ka për mështë në zhërdi albën më zja koj pila. Brøtja kë Allahën sa Kristensen a I kondë si ku shka në qender. Araja. Pa ja, pra se e ka bleja dëd le zhërdi albën e vla. Taksinat me morë kartën të koq me ne edhe I kejt loje. Qka kjo Arlind?
Vi makalën syni shta dhe throna nënën ja.
Wallahi. Sti shkam jo thonë që punë t'janë keq. Edhe kënina bëna e edhe me na hop. Edhe rjeti dhe mja njësë më prish.
Edhe dhe throna dhe më shko nera. Të më të zedhe.
Ja me zjem mesin Barcelona. Sa të na vita është se. Edhe rrjeti lëmë të shu. Ka raket për të kësti. Pa për drejt që ta jo një herë për një herë lëmë. Më sikësher. Se për qyri ta dhe thruna ma se bëdhëm me syt jaran. Ta dhe thruna dhe ta dhe thruna janë baba.
Shumë të thonë të thonë më pale
And we're back into it. 4-11 here, a massive deficit for the Bad News Eagles, but they did find one final round here, Alex. One final round to maybe make this a little bit more possible. All starts here.
Looking good, and like when Falcons are playing this well, how can anybody...
طبعا ندرس هذا ريتي هذا اللي ويا يعني رياضي ايكونيان نزاديان
to walk away from the site at the very least. For the moment, could just be a pause. Maybe they're just on a bit of a break. As it seems like they're looking to recommit in here.
I felt like they're going to let the lurkers work, but they actually haven't. No move yet from Haji.
There we go.
شعبات كده بقى مثل والله لوني فول شو فول باكيت لوني ايش باكيت بس يعطوني
expecting him to be a little bit of a punch into this round. He's already delivered
Sen rörston kan han få mig
boppars. In the ninja spot. Scenario is just supposed to sell this position a little bit. They're trying to lure him through. Maka looks like he wants to check it, and he does indeed. He's wary, and they deal with the issue. They've got a player in market, but Rygon's also killed one towards that side of the map, so they might not expect Haji. What is? Oh, now they do. Now they know. The come back the other way. It's down to a 2v2. This is utter madness, and they know the player's not close at hand.
Bravo, bravo.
He's gonna stick. He knows they're out of position.
Diffuser i kanë shkajto baj zemër. Pa. Shkajto bomba Allah, diffuser edhe ditën e mirë.
I think he could have stuck the full 10 second and gotten it out.
That was simultaneously the worst and the best pistol round I've ever seen. That was... At one point their Falcons had 2 players on B. The bomb thought about running back.
Couple sefa që atjen rrët sa më se myti, ka mujt me bo defill që ati ka dalvan.
Bad News Eagles, if they had gone B, it would have been round over almost certainly, so... What is going on in this game, honestly? I mean...
Njerë po shem.
It's like musical chairs, these bomb sites. Neither team wants to actually hold them for any length of time.
But this round won't be confusing. This round will run true to form, and this round will be MBK tacking on some ecos. Delicious ecos. MBK chewing on those and swapping the pistol gives away GXX.
GG, come up.
Alright, so despite the utter madness that has been this game so far, frankly, Falcons are in a position where if they win one good gun round, we could just be done, Alan. We could just be through to the third.
Looking that way at the moment. As... Yeah, they had to start strong. Bad News Eagles. A couple Galils in the mix, but shouldn't be a huge issue for Falcons. And an early knife onto Regon. Not going to be happy about that. Never want to start around in that sort of shape.
Bravo, Synopsy.
Synopsy, an opener. So good shape to start in mid, at the very least. But the utility is putrid. Let's be real about this. If this just turns into a B hit, it's gonna have to be the guns. Got no mollies, got no smokes to slow this down. He only smokes on one Flatro. He's in window. So What do you do here? You try and rotate the bodies quickly. It's how they play it on Vertigo. It's a little
عشان
tricky
يصعب
worse
برشلونة
than
خابر.
Barrage. With
Bس كان
Falcons
شعب
redoubling their
وحشاش.
efforts towards mid.
بيكشيرون بناين شتو ما
He's gonna
بناتريت.
be the one Flacho, now down his only
Det
smoke.
ser så alla vid döm. Barcelona pjäsen är dyrt. Mexur.
Oh, this boost.
Really?
Bit of a
That,
risk.
they knew he was there. He had just spammed it. That is quite the risk taken. And it is going to draw the Falcons back in towards the
Ja,
site.
försöker ni
And
stanna
outside
i
of
ordning
knowing
map.
MBK's there, they haven't got any info. Thank God GXX is on site because look how passive Scenario and Flatro are. Thank God we've got this crossfire established. They need to actually make their way out of apartments and they're out of flash
High
supply.
saken.
It's going to be difficult from here to get down in good numbers. Yet to swing
Yeah.
from the end of the balcony as NBK sends it through
Bravo
the windows.
Erigan. Bravo.
Ready and waiting, and it was a little bit deflating that XP at the end. And good news was the bad news Eagles actually had 2 on site.
I think the good news for the bad news Eagles is that Falcons didn't just hit it quick after getting that first pick, right? I mean, they rotated in. If they just ran in, there's no util to slow it down. There's no smokes. There's no mollies. A retake would have been an absolute nightmare there for the bad news Eagles, but instead Falcons stall out in apartments, allow the rotation to come through. Then there's bodies on site. By the time they're actually trying to jump down, they get caught by the catwalk player. That's that is a bit of good fortune for the bad news Eagles. Now they've got all the utility.
It wasn't just that. Actually, they started off with 4 apartments, and they saw that the catwalk player was off cap, but they didn't commit behind it when they knew it was solo B. So maybe a bit of hesitation. There's no hesitation in this round. Just swinging out. So many jewels taken. Bomb is still left all the way over towards ramp. This has been a troublesome few gun rounds in a row now for Falcons.
Still a lot of chances to bring this back in as Rygon takes that fight wide. Problem is, well, Synopsy on the flank, and Synopsy is about to meet Misuta at the bomb. Misuta is dead. All right, round claimed. Enough capital, I think, to mean that even those casualties don't really much matter. They won't be able to build up much of a bank, but frankly, Bad News Eagles kind of just need to keep winning. So a bank may not be the biggest concern just yet, because they cannot afford to drop rounds in general.
On the flip side as well, Falcons, their cash is broken, so now is the real opportunity to, indeed, as you said, increase the numbers in the bank account. As Falcons, I think, you know, give this, you know, a classic existence timeout. Talk through this eco, let them just waste nades, and let's have a real discussion about approaching these gun rounds, because I think they were gifted that entry on the back of MBK in the previous. Seen a few of those throughout this game, and yeah, just get on the same page of how this next gun round is going to be approached.
شد بومك هجاي خطير. Ładna szansa strony jest tu szansa. Sad trzeciena. Sponzefon. Stani panku. Bravo, bratjatra.
Two-piece here, little shish kebab. When I skewer
Olla fulla ecco gärna ta så problemen jag tunai cheats så nu att det är easy.
Nice played. 4K in the round. There we go. There's those ecos. It's been a while since I've done like skewers on the grill. It's always a good move, Alan.
Well, if actually, so I was in Cyprus for a week, and that's how they do all barbecues is with skewers. There's no what's in the word, like a grill tray. Is that the word? Is it
Yeah.
the grating?
You put the
never
skewers
put
over
that.
the flame.
It's always on normally a big one as well. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds delicious.
I'll take you sometime.
Måste beakta. Bra mas jag
Maybe
hört.
that's where we're gonna go for the next event break. Oh, Maka's in. Making 2 big kills, and alright, this was just gonna be Falcons all the way. My
Lätna
goodness.
här.
Bad News Eagles' tendencies to take isolated fights comes back to bite them as they are just completely demolished into that one. Falcons wasted no time with it.
That was an 18-second round.
Yes. That's why we were talking about barbecue by the time everyone was dead.
Wow, I mean, I think we know who was skewered in that round. Crikey.
Hey! Shish kebab.
Made a change. Regon double AWP, taking that catwalk spawn to get out early. Other AWP is on GXX, that's towards stairs. These players tried to default out. Regon on the angle can't find the kill. Maybe. First time showing the double AWP, they won't expect the second. Over towards A.
Opening pick here from Maka. Amping up the pressure, sectioning off these sites as well. It does mean that Scenario is going to be on the spot. To get aggressive out by this, but if Haji checks it. Oh no, it comes back the other way. The shoe is on the other foot. Presence coming up the connector. And the trouble's not over for Scenario just yet. He has adjusted to address. He spots the player slipping into jungle, but likewise we're seeing in turn.
Bravo, Scenario.
Nicely played on the individual. But the bomb is coming over and he does need support. GXX is trying to get back into the angle. Misuta just really needs to not die before his teammate gets into the position. 35 seconds. Swings are risky. They're frisky, and he will die before Maka gets into position. So now there's really nothing for Maka to play off of. Just going to require a 1v3, and that's not going to happen there, Alan. Felt like they actually had decent position. If Misuta holds on to the stairs spot, and they can play off of it with the palace play, but they just didn't trust the timing, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I think the round was truly decided before that, where Falcons have an entry. They have so much map control, and they're sort of trickling in one by one. I don't feel like there was a cohesive plan. They should have, used the keywords, hit the brakes, freeze, stay out of harm's way, and then move into call. So a little bit of, maybe discipline's the wrong word, but that's in the right vein. They needed to tighten up a little bit more.
This round is huge for either side. There's not really a lot of cash that's going to be taken through, so here we get one of those big swing moments. Eagles win. We might be going the distance. We might be going the full 30. Falcons win.
Navinci
well, it's time to have thoughts
utility me do. Mia hop kohën pak. Një dhon presion këtyre që tani kur t'hin me hin si Paula pa kry. Edhe mi hek. Për ndryshe veç me armë s'ka shans.
And they are grouping up for this B hit.
It's been such a slow T side. It's a bit of defaulting, slowly group, and then go for the hit.
Here it comes. They have no utility. A single flash and a single smoke for this. But they're going to be past the first shot. Second lands and as well.
Du en alt. Bra Regan.
We'll get no more.
Gör en alt på de här samma. Regan Bob Abonesa katar nu.
Huge picks found. The bad news, Eagles triumph.
Regan, tek du på den igen
They would double off on catwalk.
GG.
If Falcons get onto the bomb site, it becomes so hard to take those fights, but Regon legged the first player, or at least connected through the wall, but his second, third shots were on point. Collateral to finish it. Other player from catwalk as well. In I think it was Synopsy was doing his fair share, and as you mentioned, Mike, key round, that's for sure, and this is absolutely game on. Money in the bin, eco now for Falcons, and News Eagles.
Do të marrë Allah, qashto, veç do të me pritna.
Synopsy trying to keep this one clean. It was the Falcons who struggled with pistols on their vertigo. So maybe it's time for them to get a little payback. A little revenge.
Bravo, Senar. Hade Senar. Bravissimo.
What sense is Scenario on?
Yes.
Or is he smacked the DPI button by accident or something?
Hold on, looking it up. Be able to get his settings right.
Han hade kunnat chans med klu.
He might be using a DPI switch on his mouse.
It's gotta be, because apparently he's got
Zbanne fitola neran. Sitta vid ena neran.
Sensitivity 2.3, so it should not be that.
That's absolutely average.
Yeah,
nog
should
bara
not
något
be
gott.
looking like that.
Looking a little funky. Looking a little funky.
Right, on. Got the first. Got away. This double up has been huge. It's been a
Yeah.
major difference maker for the Bad News Eagles.
It's all
Falcons
Regon
been
as well. He's
incredible
such a
with it.
revelation on this AWP. It's totally changed the dynamic of the map, and suddenly Falcons can't default without losing numbers because Regon's just gonna.
Već pretnja bor, mos gjuni bu me runën ai një.
Python started
Ka
catching the
24.
cheese. We got a pretty good idea of where these Falcons
Hare
players
Regan
are,
be
but
hacket
MBK
sto.
is going to try and make some noise. He's gotten in a lot.
Hek Regan,
And he's
bravissimo.
dead. Never mind. Didn't want the last.
Mos bani
Wanted the
pik,
cap.
qet, 52.
Well, this Falcon might be having his wings clipped.
Bora.
Clean round as well for the Eagles. So now what we were concerned about, which was the CT economy cracking them, not being able to even play for overtime, well, that's not going to happen. It is guaranteed not going to happen at this point. They can have multiple rounds with only one player surviving, and they'll still have cash to buy. So they're going to keep this rolling. For the Falcons, they got to do it the hard way. They've got to put this game away against full buys, against double ops, against all the utility in the world. The Bad News Eagles got a really good chance to close this gap.
Force comes in. Timely one as well for Falcons, as they simply have to have a discussion right now
Dominar
about
shumë zemra hajt.
how do we deal with Regon, how do we get past these double AWPs, how do we force an afterplant where these AWPs suddenly become a hindrance rather than the absolute monsters they've been in the last few rounds. So this is going to be a half buy. We're really looking towards the next gun, but needless to say, Mike, the way they're defaulting, the way they're looking for control, the way they're executing late without a lot of utility, it's all playing into the hands of these AWPs, and that simply cannot be allowed to happen anymore.
Haji, goodbye. This nade about to be chunky.
Bravo,
Never mind.
Senar.
We'll do the work first, and
Bravissimo.
Seneri is just gonna feast.
Male.
Maybe a little bit of an overextension, but you know what? He was feeling it. Sometimes when you're feeling it, you just gotta swing. Maybe not that second one, though.
Uova scherapen per ore.
Come on, settle in, fellas. You don't have to prove my point about you being able to keep buying, even if you survive with only
De
one
man
life.
allemaal met Eagle Eye.
And the Bad News Eagles, they'll keep that from
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
off the rails.
Okay. This feels
Okay.
like a real crunch time
Ja,
round,
als je
doesn't it?
Barcelona,
Because
man.
suddenly this becomes an even
Inshallah
scoreline.
që të ujnë se
Falcons
Barcelona
can't
na
get
fete
up on
këshyra.
at least and make this close. And I brought it
We're
up
gonna
already,
have a
but
while.
I'm really
All
going to
they
start
could.
focusing on Falcons calls because
Me
they
vituat që
have
të
to
ronë
change
ka
the
gja
game.
mirë. Për drejt me ronë hopë që tonë.
Or just kill people in towards mid immediately. They did change up the positioning of the AWP in this round. Regan going more in towards B instead of mid, and it did not work out. Caught on the reload is Seneri. One flush.
Hare
out.
flatrat që të do të me ikë sa
Oh, he
gjë.
wants to swing. We know he likes to swing. Likes a bit of the swing. Did Synopsy just catch a player? No.
Valla e më para
Go
ball
for a
problem.
poke back in. This is
Shumë të
madness
fortë.
now.
Nade. Oh.
Goodbye, Haji. Even numbers. And the chase.
Trava se tra.
Synopsy has seen MBK, I believe. Oh.
You.
If he just waits here, they're going to rotate back through. Misuta has no idea. Misuta is about to be the most frustrated player
Bravo,
in the entire
bravo.
game. What do you mean you're in apps? There's someone who just shot me top mid. Oh, that's got to sting for Misuta.
Super.
And MK is left wondering what the hell just happened.
O mos e
Meanwhile,
qëtë kryt
Rocket's
bre.
stuck
Mo bre
in
mos
the
e
hard
preq
place.
atje
He's
o.
still got the
O
ball.
gjallë.
He has to watch both ways because he knows this is a team that's
Oh,
probably pushing both
John.
ways. How do you
Media?
even...
Ja
how do you
ikja
even
janë e në
recover this
shqyqër.
positionally, Alan? How do you even get back onto a bomb site if you're Maka?
I don't think this is actually
Mo-
as good as it
Damn
looks
it.
for Bad News Eagles. There, until that moment, they had.
Mo
the
bre
information.
bo.
Why are you chasing that?
20 sekunda
Through the
bre
murder
bro.
hole.
Sebe pe bani
That's
matë.
such an insane risk. He had spotted him and he just keeps going.
But they don't know where Regon is. He's got that advantage.
they're about to know.
17
And
seconds.
it's gonna work! The nade!
Bravo! Mos I posh dre bre posh dre dre
Saves it.
posh.
Alan, what on earth have we just witnessed?
You know, we actually had, let's say, a 10-round streak of normality in this game. They took a break.
Pa
they
pik në
calmed
roje
down, they
knena I
reset.
boni pikë.
Nice rounds of Bad News Eagles, but it's back. We're back. The chaos, the carnage, the madness. The clown
Valla I
show,
kanë t'ja
that's what we're
kthy
here
mos
for,
ta
and
kështu
I
fitohet
wouldn't
që
want
atrand
it
kanë
any
t'ja
other way.
kthy.
This is
Ska
the most
szans.
entertaining game of Mirage I've seen for a very long time.
It's wild. I genuinely, the strongest asset and the greatest weakness for the Bad News Eagles is that I think every player is always convinced they can win the fight they're in. So they just take them. Even when it's like the fight through the murder hole. If I'm not mistaken about that sequence of events, he spots the player through the shutter. There's an exchange of bullets. He knows he's been seen, and he just goes through, knowing that the bomb is back in ramp.
I wouldn't think about it too much. You're just gonna hurt your head.
I've already done so. Anyway, presence in towards mid. Falcons could make us forget about everything here by just putting this next round away. But Misuta will not be able to help them out with it, as he has been Misu-dinked. Misu-dunked. Misu-dud.
Keep working on it.
Either way, Scenario's gone too.
Having to scramble a little bit here with the
Cheyenne Peralina te frite.
GXX is just about picked up A, but it's so passive. Regon sat back in B market. A couple players fighting a little bit for mid. As information and shots exchanged. Bombs in Palace. One player's coming up through underpass. That's Haji. GXX, where's he going, Mike?
Another got one Flatro, but he escapes. Now Haji's position is known. Oh, this next kill is everything. It works out for Haji. GXX is gone. And now they don't have positioning over towards A. So much control for Haji. One Flatro is hoping that Haji just goes for that little extra swing, that little extra chase in towards space. He knows the players on the other side. But Haji won't give him what he's looking for. The discipline's good there. Yes, gets that, but it's all on one Flatro. The bomb's gone down. His position is
Zipsa på goten alla. Alla spatan man tog.
Maka just trying to put this away.
Bravo, här är måste vi ta teatern. Så vi skydar till bollen. Här är bravo.
Good one, Flatro has that. Oh no! The spacing on the peek back in the fight. The peek from Maka has it all undone, and the game is back on here, Alan.
I have no words. I mean, what are these rounds? Why did GXX just leave A when they had no information? Why is mid the prized possession when can't plant the bomb there? Wow, I mean, Jam Flatro, he's not had the best map so far, but he just did he get reset at halftime? That's what it looks like. But I mean, what a round for him to show up. And what do you do now? Do you buy up here if you're Falcons?
I mean,
he's off a rifle.
They can half here, and they'll be in the next.
Zaraz minut halvera, ale zisha hoflatra.
AK, so I guess the
they
seem to be of two minds, right? Two players have gone all the way in. Three have saved just a little bitty bit. So it's a pretty good buy, and they're gonna go for a faster play. It looks like all the presence is in towards apartments right now. This is just gonna be a straight up rush. Molotov down. They've got a smoke for the molly, presumably, or they're just gonna burn a lot, and they're out. Oh my goodness, that's fast. Synopsis got one. Looking for more. There's a player back by the pillar. They're so focused on
La med teckna inte tillbaka
A 4-on-4 retake. This ball needs to go down, but the numbers are starting to get better bit by bit by bit. Oh, and now it's ticking away. They won't have a lot for the post plant here, but a couple salvage guns could make this a bit easier. Who's gonna get out? Who's gonna get out of the market? Scenario gets the kill, and it's starting to fall apart. It's all in Python. Oh, NV2 for control of this game. They gotta swing together. They gotta peek together. And there's the shot, but not the last. It's still We're taking it all the way.
The game that refuses to die. The game that refuses just to end. Another afterplant, which is just an absolute roller coaster where you think it's good for Bad News Eagles and it looks absolutely flawless for Falcons. And somehow, Bad News Eagles.
Hej, gå till Kittikan i
How
sig
on
så
earth are we
ni
at
film jag med.
round
Jag hade
30 here
dagen.
in a game
Bomma
where
gärna, ikast ni har byggt över.
it felt like Falcons should have won this 20 minutes ago, but here we go. The full 30 required. Bombs towards A.
Hade ni då?
Oh, this
Hade
is
ni
amazing.
time. Mos u gott sen här, mos shka.
Oh, they have no idea.
They have no idea.
Bravo sen här.
Okay.
Bravo Sinopsi.
They have an idea, Alan.
Super. Du vet ha very very lows. Half HP hade. Try again. Bez az idő. Hayır.
Oh no,
Overtime.
GXX will take full advantage. It's left the Python. Apparently they had every idea, Alan. And now Python will need a few of his own if he's even going to make this something, anything. A 1v5 with not a bullet of damage on his opponents. 50 seconds to work with. That's about 10 seconds to find each kill. Assuming he doesn't plant the bomb. And he's not even going to get started because he's now been checked back in spawn. Synopsy just wants to put this one away. And we're going into overtime.
Ma har varit time reklam alla ile. Ma snajthi. Ma porzut. Çevkosin pasha, nej çevkosin med reklam. Så normala bor. Çiti mobat. Porque se tornamento ela passa de dinheiro, mas vão subir a liga me do. Logo. Tjej, tornamento não.
Allah aşkına ya surf. Sen surf ediyor.
İnşallah bile fitöyna dy mapa. Ta dy runda på dem. Träd nu vet du.
Nej, alla krigar. Det är kallt här. Just fan.
Okej. Katarunda. Koja väl oss chansa. Måste tu ski chansa. Ski chansa. Zemene vedu vena muti distanza. Köra på här. Abot bakstol lag ja. Nu kvata çel hiç. Köra aty te Kosovari, ai që dalin ka të mirë, nuk bojnë lag hiç. Facebook është. Edhe një mape kanë nëse s'fitan bëneja, tash I kanë atë 6 runda, si janë në vërtajnë. Kosovari ka emrin Facebook. Lëbe në Facebook Kosovari, ta qëtë. Ai qëtë këtë linkat e mirë, nuk bojnë lag. Mos më shty. Sen, s'pat bëj. Opa, hare janë isi shqyr.
We're back into things, and somehow, some way, the Falcons have let this one slip. It's 15-all here in overtime. As they'll need to reset and reconsider how they might get a few more rounds. This was quite the comeback by the Vazhdu here, Alan.
Hare djem bëjeni like dhe subscribe quna. Hare se në overtime jena me 6 rundat. Kena mundësi me fitu këtë loj. Nësi I vidojnë vetëm 4 runda. Hiq ma shumë.
Vazhdu Eagles delayed mid-fight. Look at Janflatro. Down in the open though.
4-4.
And it's easy pickings. GXX caught on the wrong side of window.
Bravissimo Synops.
Bit of space.
Po mdo që jena qartë që tashtë.
Synopsy's nearby.
Po mdo që kena me fitu që ta
Bomb is
vërta.
a long way back. And Vazhdu Eagles loading up B with 3 players. Seems like a little bit of an overreaction.
It is an interesting read. They're going to start to float off. GXX repositioning here, especially since they had the vision of Synopsy and know that no one's up catwalk. It is kind of the right read, though. These players are grouping. It does, in fact, look like it's going to be a V-take, so they're really well set up for it. We've seen this this setup very effective for them in the past. The op takes the initial peek, the player on the catwalk under window finds the damage. Although, as I say that, Synopsy wants to get in towards Van, wants to get
tre rundate borsi për les fan. Ma bre bor, realizing
where a player
Rigan.
be there.
Du sniper ena
Suddenly
podcast.
that rifle cannot help out, so Rygon's stuck out on
Om man
towards
tog
the site.
om,
The
ja.
bomb is going down. Rygon's game of guess who. Not
Bak,
exactly paying
jeg har
dividends.
det. Bravo,
Oh,
Rigan!
but the quick scope will fight in
Mas.
combat hopping. Misuta wants to keep this round in hand.
Nan hoppa av la.
He's dinked down.
Scheisse,
But
jeg hoppa.
GXX with just the op. This is
Gjui
a
qaty.
retake now.
Ja, nu.
And provided they don't sit and give him a fight, he should be done. Coming in with the US,
Bravo.
just the US.
Hade be hacka sniper. Borstiki!
WP doesn't expect him out towards Van, and Muxco will salt the way.
Ah,
and
but I
steal
know.
the first win of
Ah,
all.
damn it,
One flashbang dealt with that AWP angle from Regon. If that flashbang's in there, no chance Falcons are winning that round. First would have died on the cross, so slim, small piece of utility. No smokes to isolate off the window either, so that's all they could have done, and what a difference one piece of nadeage can make. Falcons finally stemming the CT round tide. And now it's a game of getting beyond this, getting beyond 2, maybe even 3 rounds.
Gjashtë runde i
going
kanë.
to the second.
Një rond vetë shkaj. Edhe ronde e dytë ja ka nis.
Market. Getting nutmeg there, perhaps. One shot going through on either side. Stick around. Confidence trying for another swing, but that's going to be Python getting a kill elsewhere. Alright, an exchange off of the HE. What is happening here? Everyone has just decided that this Van fight is going to decide the entire round, apparently. Juan Flacho is still standing off with MBK. The bomb hasn't committed. MBK is
Alla
now
Balmir
lost
kam
it.
të lutë
This
qëta
round has
rondat e
had more
fundit.
twists and turns
Ti
in it
lop se pi bojmë push pa lidhje.
than I can remember. And this has been a pretty twisty
Thjesht
and
arre,
turn game.
pret për me
They're
ardhur
stalling
montuar,
out now. They
thjesht.
do need to get the bomb down at some point. Apparently that's going to be Haji's responsibility. And to be fair, GXX is just stuck back in towards
Që
the
ka
windows.
lënë
It's
bëjën
actually a
vetë.
very good hold for Maka to be zeroed in on.
Gjenë se tiro me sniper.
They're wary. Let me go down. A player tucking the ninja. Boosted up here in the corner. Everyone from Bad News Eagles retaking from the same angle. Fortunately, the op's no longer zeroed in. So they're going to be able to get past it. But who's actually going to have the first spot? Utility going to start to come out. Smoke to provide some cover. Maka's in. Hits first blow. Time is getting short here. Opportunities very limited. Flashbang hits nothing, but the kills do. IG is just going to play off the bomb.
Si
Just
vi
gonna play
tøyna
off the
på
bomb, and
lets.
he should erase any chance they
Han
had.
är en alla
Again, this
hetskarna
one,
från
there's no time. It's not happening.
GG.
And a 17th
Nå
round
på
hits the
rätt.
board for the
På
Falcons.
igen.
Looking good, looking very good, and because Bad News Eagles double up that first gun round, it's not just GXX looking worse for wear. Regon's out of cash as well. Wow, this is a stark difference with regulation, and I don't know what was happening there in apartments. Bad News Eagles are starting to make some bizarre choices. Why fight for that control when you know there are players there? Do the opposite. Go to the undefended position. Path of least resistance seems to not translate very well into their region, Mike.
Oh,
We haven't seen any of that today.
Teneri, he's got the timing. Is there a nade for this? If there's an there's a bullet. That's even better. They realize the player's out towards Tetris. They certainly will now. Haji stuck out here, trying his other nades to make them effective, but he's found two. They lined up. One was through the smoke. He didn't even know he'd had it. But it doesn't seem to matter. It's all in a
Vamos, skjuter bom!
The eagle out for the second. The bomb now down. Synopsy just with a hand cannon on his own
Wallahi
side.
smar meni wala. Se tak qyri Barcelona ja ka nisa dhe klip në mlim.
He's looking for the kill. It's gone to the rifle on either side.
Ah,
But
shit,
Synopsy
shut
will
up,
keep this going. Will keep his team in it. Deny the clutch out.
What's going on? What is going on?
I am losing losing my mind, Alan. I thought I'd seen it all this last weekend in terms of maddening plays. But no. Apparently it's getting even wilder and weirder.
I've never seen anything like this. Every single round is just... Every single round has to have at least 10 seconds of utter madness. That round, it was the after one, of course. The one before, players fighting in apartments like whoever holds that is going to win 10 rounds off the back of it. And plenty other scenarios likewise in this game. Oh my god. This is honestly, like, this is what scrims look like when they're just degrading into absolute pointless play. That's what this looks like. It's
Yalla
just,
kamikaze. Oha, kaya be down.
It feels like madness. We've reached the point of overtime, and usually this doesn't happen until the second or third. But it feels like so much of the playbook is just going out the window, and you're kind of drawing it up in the sand to figure out what you might actually do in the next. Let's see what we got. We got a swing from MBK in towards underpass, completely alone, and he's dead. Lost that engagement, so man advantage here for the Bad News Eagles as they look to tie up the scoreline. Python's focus completely taken here. As the window smokes comes in, he's gonna have to back away. Ooh, Synopsis in the window. Lots of valuable position.
Mira
Python
med
will be watching
patienza.
for this, but in the meantime, they've wrapped their tendrils all around this A site.
Vi ser han ju lite så.
Regon's committed, look at him.
Could be in a tough spot. Is Python trying to go back through? He is. Regon's got one, Regon's got two. And Python is a dead man for free. So it's all on to Misuta. Misuta's completely on the other side of the map. And Misuta, I'm sorry, friend, don't see a way back into this round for you.
No, well, that might be the best T round from Bad News Eagles in this map. It's been going on for a while now, a bit lightly, but that was good. Clean entry, taking map control, playing off the back of each other. Of course, Regon.
Dugăduina myös ku
solo play, but I think
Novartaima fett.
wrapping their tentacles around that A bomb site. There were just so many avenues for
Like,
Bad
you
News
see them
Eagles to
Rasta.
trade each other to find
Alla
space
är på.
and ultimately convert it. 17
Ja, men fick då maten
apiece. We
så.
did not think we would be here early on. I want to say it was
Kommer skjuta ner en
13-6-ish
matgetar måste
for
jag.
Falcons, that sort of range, maybe 13-5. And all square as we hit round 35.
Det gick bra. Det gick bra, ja.
Snopsy will be held in by the Molotov at least for the moment, but look at how many players are here in towards mid. Right, this is all of the focus. They're playing no one on A. They've got no presence on this entire site other than Haji. And apparently he's enough. At least for one. But now that he's dead, now that utility's coming in, now that MBK is catching nades, well, he might not have been enough this whole time.
Oh no.
Oh, it's traded. It's okay. Someone's gonna watch it again though. GXX is here. He's dropped down. Is he now supposed to plant? I'm confused about who's planting.
Synopsy was
taking
playing
bomb
for
in
the after
sandwich.
plant before the bomb had been planted.
Oh no. This has gotten wild and weird again. Misuta.
Får jag ner teitä purse kirjavaa. Bravo Alvaji, bravo sen nere. Är häxan här. Mas. Bravo. Chaya. Koira med övertagningen ut.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just when you think the madness is over. Bad News Eagles with basically zero nades, stuck in the open on the bomb site. Falcons knew they were there and they still win the round. They still win the round.
Start ma konts viituina 3 rundaa neena ellen jopa se vitu miisi.
Oh, baby
Fit.
can't.
Niin
But my mind, the rest of my body, Mike, wants double overtime. This, nothing this good can end. Well, it can, but I don't want it to end.
I think you're insane. I need off this crazy train. We'll see if Bad News Eagles can stamp my ticket. Give my pass. Give me the space. I don't know. We're gonna find out. They are going to go all the way in on this one. They're actually going to take a secondary off as well. So Synopsy has some choices. He's ferrying a gun on over. Just to watch top mid, see if the aggression would come through with that AWP. Be able to go back into the rifle off of it. No exchange just yet. Feels like this might be the longest since.
Hala olako sakin dugad masmen zayram chitmap.
Been some maddening
Yeah,
starts
but
to these
Bad
rounds.
News Eagles have clearly made a call saying they're going to get aggressive. They are going to
here
get
comes.
aggressive, and Synopsy
Hala synaps, haka synaps.
was on the
Ma synaps.
Oh, no. Well, fortunately for Synopsy, neither AWP could connect there.
Yeah,
We're back onto the AK now. And
Bravo,
Messina
Rigoni.
Found man advantage. Players so spread out though for Bad News Eagles. They need to group.
Sekopi bumja
Gotta play it
super.
down.
Haka
Gotta play
regon,
it down.
chaya
The
regon.
Smoke and Python's eliminated.
Oh,
Now a
look at
double
Riga.
man advantage. They're not even coming to the site. This is just a fake. They're just selling a fake by killing
Bravo,
everybody else.
Gens.
They don't even want to finish here.
GG.
And they don't even need it. They don't need the bomb plant. The Bad News Eagles have done it. They put this one away.
Qëta është ka kryer për tajmin më
Goodness,
parë.
what a way to end the game. What a way to end the half. What a way
Më
to
duket se çfarë
end the
herë kur
entire
jo.
dang series. Bad News Eagles are moving on into playoffs. They may have completely destroyed our sanity with that matchup, but what they did do is secure the #1 seed out of this group.
What have we just experienced?
Madness.
What is my body, my mind, every ounce of me? You know, I enjoy the clinical Counter-Strike mic. I like good decision making. I like good mid-round calls, and this was quite the opposite. This
Liverpoolin jo me njëma,
this
se
was
po
just-
tybe.
Just madness. Just
Jo që se po
absolute
po e
madness
kom
from
lezu
start to
kështu me
finish.
mene,
I
se
don't
kom
even know what
lezu.
else to say. I mean,
Se
how
kom
on
fall.
earth can you analyze this match?
I
Vertigo
think you
was
say this is what the Bad News Eagles love. This is where they thrive, right? Gutsy calls, crazy fights, mad decisions, big clutches, big moments. It's what makes them such a very exciting team to watch, and I'm happy that we're going to get
Tash I
some
kanë
more of
gjashtë
that when
runda
the
ekstra.
playoffs do roll around. For the Falcons, I mean, there were some good moments there, but I think they were just left really
Katër runda do të
isolated
mi vidu për më kry
situations.
loja.
So many opportunities ripped away from them by crazy plays on the other side.
Hajde.
Either way,
Well,
that is going to wrap up our day here on EU. NA is yet to come, so there will be more Challenger League action coming your way in just a little bit. But until then, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. E shka o ba? A o krya? Por zëtin.
A fitu ma?
Po... A, jo më, pret. E këshira këtë lehen hit. A fitu më vlla? Po përzi lesha, po s'po marrë se në tybe. Barazen Beckham? Po, vallaj 2-0! Pa, kem bet 18-18?
Ba më një pikë dole e përsi.
A veç atu 6 runda për lujkan, s'pas ka nevoj të me thonë. Allah se s'po ka zani më nënë, ja koj, shone këto të nejtë, nethe, tash halallën ja 6 runda tjerë, kja. Hare më përhaj, GG, nënë, ja koj, shë i sa ka të më ka 2-0 kete, hajt, ja u palënëm, ja u banëm tërë. Kuku, bob. Kuku në të nejtë halallën të pritë runda tyve. GG, quna dhe gotë sa për bëna jetë si natinor fitore ka 2-0 i sa ka tonëm ketë, pak shyrëm nesër mos kena lujt tash, si që fitonëm, a e ka qitë me njëherë për nesër a jo, alo se pësa qitë, të vele kresh. Jo, shto në fakt do të me dal, po s'ka dal. Nëse ka loj nesër bëneja, ju kalzoj ma herët, ju kalzoj hina live. Po në grupin bëna jena venin e parë, thash, 2 fitore i banëm. GG. Natën e mirë Kosovakini, natën e mirë Kede, gjumin e amël, shihemi nesër ose mas nesër, nuk e di. Kështu që më po që keni, kaloni sa më bukur.
Okay. Po driva toka, kur vim në dosa, fitnit që mbosa, si naske po driva toka, kur vim në dosa, fitnit që mbosa, Sina nuk ko Dridha to 14 Qive ka 27 kejt njejt Kej për një e një për kejt Jo bë met nuk mojna hejt Shqipe gjakun në shtrejt Halok të dridhë toka Fit mit që nuk ta folin Prejhet jeta si torta Ju këto Shqipe s'ka lojna Sina në pak se lojna Jeta o shumë shkurt Kejt lek me t'mitin dojna Jeta o zjema zi S'kom show kejti kom lazi Respekt zdo ven ku hi Se kejt e din që s'ka ma gji